Hi guys, and welcome back to the VCT Game Changers APAC Series Open 1, day number 4. We are inching ever closer to finding out which team will join Team SMG in tomorrow's grand final. I'm Riri. With me, of course, is the multi-talented Reina main, Raf, and we are both here to talk to you about our final series of the day between Team Orangutan and RRQ Kaguya. Raf, how are we feeling about this matchup?
Well, we talked about history repeating itself with Orangutan and Big Scythe, and this is also yet another one of those matches, but as a very, very nice quote that I remember, yesterday's history, tomorrow's a mystery, today is a gift. So maybe, just maybe, they can rewrite the script and maybe watch Kung Fu Panda. You know what I mean? But in any case, we have seen both these teams be very prepared coming into today. I feel like the overarching theme is that Orangutan is going to be super warmed up getting into this one, while RRQ is going to have fresher legs beneath them. So they've also had extra time to study them. So again, the matchup is going to be preparation versus a bit of a head start on the other side.
Today is a gift, and that's why they call it the present Kung Fu Panda. Just one of the best animated movies of all time. Just absolutely goated. But guys, you know what else is goated? It's the RRQ Kaguya squad on your screens. Aluka, Ayumi, Bess, Iceberg, and Nabsky. And one of the best lines that I've seen in Twitch chat today, possibly all my life even, was "You can't spell best without best." And I think it was so good that the FSL social media, like, they were like, we are using this for our Twitter. We're going to steal this and we're going to put it on our social media because Homegirl absolutely deserves that also.
I mean, we heard time and time again, saved by Bess. But can she do that against this Orangutan squad who has been on fire? As I mentioned, RRQ is a team that is overtuned towards offense, and Orangutan is completely the opposite. It's their reactive defense that makes them so strong, and their indomitable will. And of course, maybe Japip's knack for knifing people. I would love to see that happen right ahead of us.
I mean, can we just give them like the nickname of like the knifing team by now? Like, we saw like Japip's day 1 already, like what, 2-3 knife kills in one series, and then Chloe, I think, just now also just trying to get that sneaky little knife kill here and there whenever they got the opportunity. But more seriously, I think my one big worry for Orangutan coming into this series is of course going to be just how exhausted the entire team has to be, because you know they dropped to lower bracket after day number 2, and that just means that you play every single day. This is their 4th day. This is their 2nd series of today. They're just coming off of that 2-0 off of Big Scythe. And there's kind of like a little argument, you know, that people like to make about for RRQ. Of course, they lost this morning. They had a bit more time to prepare and try and outstrat OGT, whereas OGT, they're just coming off of their last 2-0. And I know like some teams prefer to keep themselves warm and play continuously. Some other teams prefer to like have that couple-hour break. Raph, where are you on this argument?
Where am I on this argument? Wherever is against yours, obviously. But
Hey,
I feel
hey,
like
hey!
there's merit to both of them, right? Because if you keep on playing, you will keep your skills sharp, but at the same time, there is a stamina issue. When you are going to come in well rested, a lot of things are going to be, I guess, a little off your mind. You're going to come in relaxed, and sometimes it's that clarity. Again, I keep saying that. The clarity of just knowing what to do and relying on, oh, hey guys, I'm super, super fresh right now. There is, well, once again, a big clash of that here. Orangutan, they go for, I would believe, something very similar with what they did earlier. Again, the Zinni KO has been fantastic all throughout the whole series. What about you? Is there any agent that you're looking forward to?
I was just wondering if Casper was really gonna lock the KJ in Chloe's face, because the two of them are hovering it, but of course she is going to default back on the Omen. I agree 100%. I think the Orangutan are very likely just going to use the exact same thing that they're just coming off of the Scythe, right? That map 2 victory for them just now, and ooh, it went by real fast. I think it is another mirror matchup, right? We got the KO, the Omen, Sova, KJ, as well as the Jet, so it looks like there will be another mirror matchup this time around. How do you think that will go to what that will end up, especially because mirror matchups usually tend to be either strat or just solo player diff? What do you think will happen?
I feel like there's going to be a little bit of both, but since OGT have already exposed a little bit of their hand in their most recent map, which was also Ascent, and now they're going to play the exact same map, so maybe just maybe some of that mental stack is still remaining, but they have to keep their minds clear because RRQ has already taken their number once. They don't want it to happen again.
For sure, and if history teaches us anything, we've already seen the 2-1 in favor of RRQ. Will that happen this time around? Well, we're about to find out. Black and Blue and Dax, gentlemen, take it away.
Thank you to the wonderful RRQ pairing over there. But welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We have one more series for you. Third series of the day, and the third time we're gonna get it in this tournament. It's RRQ Kaguya versus Orangutan X in the lower bracket finals. My name is Taxi with Black and Blue, and partner, we are gonna be getting this matchup again and again and again. Saw it in the Swiss stage, saw it in the playoffs. Here we have it for the top 3 placing.
Yeah, we're gonna run it back, but this time in the lower bracket final. And so far, of those 2 series that we have seen played, it's been RRQ to win on out in the end, 2-1, and every single time it's once more RRQ at the top. But we're starting here on Ascent, a map we did see Orangutan beat earlier on in their Swiss stage versus RRQ. Previously banned by RRQ, but they let in this time to open up the game.
Yeah, that's a really good point there, Black and Blue. Swiss stage, this was pretty much the map draft for the first 2 maps in just a different order. We saw Pearl and Ascent be played by these 2 teams before, went the way of the ones who picked it respectively. And the only time so far this year, this stage especially, this open, that RRQ has lost Ascent was against Orangutan X. And we've seen from Orangutan all throughout that last matchup against Big Scythe. They are so dominant in terms of getting that power position. I love to see here from Orangutan especially is how hyper mobile they are as a team. Take opportunity by taking angles.
Well, a bit of a difference there, at least from the last time we did see them beat, rather face against Orangutan, is they've swapped on over to the Omen, which has given them better results versus Capybara and versus Baby Beast as of recent. Let's see if that can continue now as we go into the opening round.
Best is going to be holding this down in RRQ. He just needs a bit of recovery after that loss against SMG. Had a bit of time to reset themselves. We know how stable a squad with a core like this, but Capricious feeling the heat already from the previous series. Immediately Gusto moving over to the main side. Chloe finding Best to start things off though. It's Orangutan right now trying to clear things out. Japipso over onto Lurk. Huge impact from the Sova. Opportunity knocking on the doorstep of Orangutan. And yet again, they will collect.
And that's why you want presence within that B main to potentially have moments like that where you either go unchecked or simply delay that retake push coming from the B main angle. And now it just leaves Nabsky in such a difficult spot. So there goes the opening round. Orangutan starting it off without a hit.
This is my question to you now, Black and Blue. If you have a schedule like this, if you have series back-to-back, will you have that momentum or will you be a bit tired? What's your take on this? Because it feels like for Orangutan, that confidence after beating Big Sight, it's still continuing on with how high octane that first round was for them.
Well, isn't that exactly what, Raph on our panel brought up on RRQ? They're the ones with fresher legs, yes, but Orangutan are warmed up into this, so naturally so. Sometimes that team that has played the first series already in the day will start off with a great opening map 1, but it's just that fuel. Is there enough in the tank to keep on going if this series does extend to a third map?
Yeah, it's just such a long day for both RRQ as well as Orangutan. Winner here will be into the grand finals tomorrow to face off against Team SNG and see who will be crowned our Open 1 champion here at APAC Game Changers. Aluka though, beginning now, peeking towards Cubby, RRQ. We've noticed a while ago, especially on maps like Haven against SMG, they love to play some of these one-and-done positions, try and find a way to get impact out of nowhere from corners. And in terms of how they're going to play the default, it seems like they're hanging back right now, knowing the fact that OGT, they love to take more space than what is expected.
And this is one of those maps where we do see Aluka typically a bit more on the forward end of things. On Ascent, you see her typically on this Jet Duelist, which we haven't really been seeing as of late. But the bonus, rather the anti-eco here, came from Orangutan, overrunning Bess, who simply was trapped, tried to TP out, but the firepower just a bit too much to deal with.
Yeah, beautiful scan, and now beginning now with the post-plant market positions here for the side of RRQ. The Capricious caught off guard. Aluka with the takedown. Japips yet again into some of these funnels, and it will be Casper cleaning up with Chloe at the end. OGT, they lose 2, but they'll gain 2 rounds as a result in a row.
So not much of a problem here for Orangutan. But yeah, question remains always, is this really the configuration that they should be playing? We know Aluka is a very incredible talent, but we have seen Ayumi take up a duelist role in many situations, and arguably their most, I guess, successful maps so far, at least against Orangutan, are the ones where you see Aluka a bit more back line, right? You see her maybe on the KO and have Ayumi make that space for Aluka in that case. Not to doubt her, her skills or anything, but it's just the statistics, they tell a different story.
Well, it's something you swap around for a map. Sometimes on Pearl, it's the opposite, where you have Ayumi on that Jet, Aluka on the KO instead. But now it's Aluka knocking those punches out. 2 lights out here for the side of Orangutan. Mid-fight for well, and you were asking for it, Black and Blue. Now you shall receive. Zinni, though, still contesting. Ayumi's there for the helping hand, and in the end, there's just so much presence right now from RRQ towards mid. A crawl here from Casper, as well as the Pips. They're trying to be cheeky, they're trying to be sneaky. Well done by the Omen, but it's best ready again and again. Japips now in a 1v3 scenario by the doorway, by the switch. It's just turned off here by Best. We move to the next.
Okay, round 1 by RRQ, but hey man, I only ask for the highest standards of a player like her because I know where her ceiling is, and it is ultimately just so high. We've seen that in the past, always been one of the premier talents from the region, and really kind of a prodigy at a young age. One that lots of people have their eyes out for, so it's merely telling the tale of expectation from a player of her caliber. But RRQ, question always also has been, start of this year, how do they perform with this configuration now that they've added new pieces and lost a few? We're gonna have to see here in the lower bracket final with their back against the wall.
Especially with their history, right? There's so much expectation for them to still try and win it all anyway. Teams though like Team SMG, teams like Team Orangutan, and even in their first round in the playoffs, they've already thrown such a big wrench in those plans, making it always go the distance here for the side of RRQ, Kaguya, and their wins. So as of now, that dominance is something that they might need if they do want to stand a chance in the grand finals. Orangutan, though, has been stellar so far, but Aluka shining even brighter with the blade. Zinni goes down. There we go. Though, Casper, the timing is perfect. Cheeky a while ago towards B main, now even smarter towards A main. Yet again, the opportunity knocking here for Orangutan.
Well, the apple of Eden there, catching her off guard, baiting her into going for it. Japeeps finds a cleanup on Aluka in a very committed position. Doesn't seem to be much of a problem for Orangutan, just winning every fight right now. As RRQ stumbles here in a round that they could have won.
You just never expect it here from Orangutan. Of course, we've seen the theatrics from Japips, most knife kills, bar none, in this tournament. But the audacity of some of the plays of players like Capricious, the smarts that we've seen from Casper and where she positions, And here you have it now. Orangutan prepared yet again to receive where RRQ Kaguya will go. 3-1, and Orangutan still feeling the heat for the back-to-back series so far.
No, it wouldn't be a bad idea to call a timeout this early as well. Especially seeing it how kind of scattered, I think, is the best word I'd use for this case of RRQ's defense in that round where we've come accustomed to the opposite, and as I call it, they do as well.
Yeah, well, timeout now going to be called here for the side of RRQ. And I do wonder what the plan here is for RRQ Kaguya moving forward. I was talking about it a while ago with Donut in the series between SMG and RRQ. And I think my biggest concern right now is still RRQ Kaguya has that big target on their backs back in blue. We've seen it from many a VCT stage where that top 1 team moving into the next year, everyone is looking out for them. Everyone is still watching their votes. Everyone is still seeing that they are that upper limit. And while RRQ Kaguya did fall to Extend Sapphire when they were Alter Ego Celeste in the grand finals last year, they were still the team to beat with all those championships. So has that bridge been gapped with that downtime between Elite and Open 1 now?
Well, it depends, Dax. Do you believe in, I guess, the law of one leads to another? In this case, you see, Sapphire beat that Orangutan squad, and Orangutan, rather Big Scythe, they beat Sapphire, but Orangutan beat Big Scythe. And so RRQ going up against Orangutan when RRQ did lose towards that Sapphire before. Maybe?
This is the most complicated transitive property I've ever heard from you. The only law I believe is in Murphy's Law, and that was because of yesterday. But right now, today, Alaka with the dash on in, Capricious still prepared, and Orangutan reading RRQ like a book. They were prepared, they saw the spoilers, and they see now that these opponents are just running at them. Besto over onto the corner, 3K for Best, sure! But that's not gonna be enough. The numbers pile up, and it's Orangutan who's able to survive in the dust.
Wow, she did a lot there to keep alive, but just way too much in the end. Orangutan, they're one of those teams, really, that as the tournament goes on, they seem to really find their footing and get better. Not losing steam at all, and just completely like a combustion engine. The more fuel you add to it, the more it just heats up. So for a team here like RRQ, who many times on over really get caught with a hard stop, how do you dissuade that?
I look at Orangutan, honestly, and they've really been one of the wildest cards all throughout this tournament, being so competitive against RRQ Kaguya to begin with in their series last time around, and especially that lower bracket run. It really feels like for Orangutan, there's so much surprises for basically this kind of re-roster. Now with the dash on in, a second one turns around to get that takedown. My kill, another one for me. It's just Orangutan all day, every day, taking B sites.
Yeah, we saw that a while ago in their match against Big Scythe, and she's replicating that here against a team that is arguably one of the more favored ones still. Win it all at the start of the stage. Aluka, because of shots like that, making that bird, makes it so ferocious. Nabsky's only able to nab the one before going down. Orangutan on the attacking side of all things, up with a 4-round lead.
I mean, Orangutan looked impressive against Big Sight last time around. Wouldn't be surprised to see the same kind of antics. And the biggest one I always look out for here for Orangutan is how much distance Capricious can make. From front to back, she is just there to open up these sites. And in the rear as well, players like Casper, players like Japips, it's just both sides of the equation are covered up by Orangutan, and RRQ cannot find the opening whatsoever.
And when those openings aren't being found, then you have to create them for yourself, right? If you're RRQ. But they shy away from that Astra that we have seen in the past, as they did lose to Orangutan with that composition. But I think that still allowed a bit more of them to create these kind of plays that they like to do on the defense, these trap plays. They still have that potential with the paranoia, though we haven't seen it come into effect yet.
Yeah, small potential's problem right now, and Iceberg gonna be stuck into the boathouse. Nabsky will win the one, and RRQ deciding Kurt's gonna fight them anyway. Alaka's gonna be on the board. Orangutan stabilized towards the pit itself, and it's 2v2 now, as Best will regroup from the market. Alaka though, and Best trying to find opportunity when the null command and the lockdown are there. Orangutan with a last stand here on site, desperate to try and make space to put this spike down as soon as possible. This lockdown though needs to get respected soon. Alaka backing on away. It's Orangutan moving over to the post plant.
Good lockdown here to buy them that time, as you said, for the plant itself. Suppress comes on out. Now this just makes it a lot more difficult, but Best finds a huge pick. They have to expect this, and Alaka connects the shot as RRQ come back with the second round.
And that's what RRQ needs to do. If they're gonna not have that staying power with things like the Astra, that stall potential, they better be damn sure that they're ready for the crossfires. We had that hold towards Boathouse, and we had that intercept from RRQ. From that point on, that's where they can exploit those vulnerabilities between Orangutan. The moment they're in transit, there's a small leeway for them to find those picks.
But isn't that the problem, Dax? There are those moments for them to really exploit those small mishaps, but we just aren't seeing it as, I guess, fluid as we'd like to see. In that fight, RRQ had every advantage, pincering Orangutan within the site, and still came down to a 2v2.
Yeah, it's just the problem right now for RRQ. This plan is solid, and the timing is good, but the execution, it seems like it's still being contested by Orangutan. And I'd honestly say that's more of Orangutan being impressive right now in fine form and how sharp their shots are. And speaking of, Capricious yet again looking to lead the charge, closing the door towards Market. Navsky, one more position here committed. We'll try to get reinforced by Best with the From the Shadows, but Chloe's already cleaning up house. 2 gone. That's a third here for the Killjoy. And Orangutan, yet again, it's a simple mathematics here, my friend. The equation moves to the solution of the site.
You see how every single, actually 2 of those kills within the site were supported by 2 separate flashes of Zinni? Great support she's really providing in here with her utility, completely blinding those anchors who are playing in such committed positions. At this point, if you're RRQ, the retake's working, why not continue to play that style of game? Zalika simply goes down.
Orangutan, they have 2 things right now in advantage. First is the timing. They realize we can just rush this down and players like Best cannot intercept us. And the second one is the anticipation. They understand RRQ is going to be tucked away into these small little cubbies, into these small little holes. It has become, unfortunately, a bit more predictable here for RRQ Kaguya in how they're setting up towards the site itself. And we know they're incredible players. We know that they can frag out from those positions. But you mentioned it. Orangutan is assisting the entry again and again. Zinni has been so committed with utility, and it has been one of the strongest points of contention here for Orangutan as RRQ decide to try to go with the knives suppressed immediately.
Removes that. Being used for the meantime, Alika sent running on the road to 8. It's a really forward presence here by Navsky. Hurt should alert her of that. Peaks gets a kill. No back off potential for the trade. Maybe from Iceberg comes on in. Zinni connected. And Chloe gets a trade, but that's good damage done already.
This is huge for RRQ because they can reset themselves towards the site, and Alika now back with the vengeance. Chloe goes down, 2 behind the smoke here. Shocked to try and pepper a bit of that HP. And you can see also RRQ is already looking to cut off that intercept. Best has a Spectre watching over mid. A minute remaining. Orangutan needs some big frags right now if they want to make it work, but Iceberg does it yet again. Prodigal with the sheriff this time around. Japips in a 1v4 situation. Can she go have one more time? The scan says no. And Iceberg will say hello. A thrifty win from RRQ. Exceptionally needed in this situation.
Yeah, an assist for herself there, if anything. Off the backboard alley-oop to her own dunk.
Yeah, set up and knock it down, apparently.
Oh, yeah. For yourself. Why not? Take all those kills. And that helps her build the ult. But RRQ, that's what they need a bit more, right? A lot of times you'd see that type of play where they have this kind of double stack up towards B main, supported by the Astra Star. They didn't have it this time, but able to make it work on out anyways. And if RRQ can create those openings once more, since they haven't been able to find them at the very least and capitalize off of it, if they can create those, that same way we saw a while ago, then they have a much more better fighting chance, if anything.
I think the critical junction right now for RRQ is if they can stop that first push of Orangutan, that does throw a lot of that burden away from them, because we've seen how strong the hard hit of Orangutan exits towards the sites and how they're so well at covering their flanks. But what happens if Orangutan is forced to rotate? What happens if RRQ can make them back away and stay in stable positions like B main? It's those kind of rounds that we saw a while ago in terms of the standoff. That's where RRQ Kaguya is one of the strongest in repositioning and waiting for the re-aggress from any other opponent.
And to that point, isn't that what RRQ want, right? They want to kind of slow down the pace a bit. They love those mid-round decisions where you're a lot more capable in really shaking on up what the read is for the other side and conditioning the opposing side. But when it's just a constant hard hit, we've seen Orangutan struggle on those anchor positions. And so, I think smartly so, you can see here the 2 defenders on RRQ towards the A side being Iceberg and Best. They play a bit back rather. Hunter's Fury connects, but not enough for a kill on Japips.
Yeah, my concern right now for these two teams, matter of predictability. Who can read the other better will win this series. And history has said it is in favor of RRQ Kaguya twice already. Will third times be the charm here for Orangutan X? They still need to deal with the operator though here of Alaka. Warning shots towards the platform position, towards the rafters even, or the walkway. Seems like though, Orangutan this time, we were talking about how they're gonna try and go for the maneuver. Yes, don't do that. Just get Jack in the Box, getting hit again and again. 31 HP left.
Well, sometimes it could be a Jack in the Box, sometimes it could be Pandora's. You never know what you're gonna get in these moments. Meantime, you have to worry about here is this execute on towards the B site. Nano Swarms keep them at bay. And RRQ doing a good job of really stalling them down here. They have the lockdown for the retake too.
30 seconds
The
left.
moment RRQ has been waiting for. They've put the conditions to the battlefield in hand. 25 seconds left. Orangutan will be able to get this side. Sure, Casper though, gonna be ambitious, teleporting towards the cubby, towards the logs area. And here we have the flashing play from Ayumi as well. RRQ trying to find an opening, but Casper gonna shut down that null command. Alaka though, make the off count, and here comes Capricious yet again. B-main is the marker here for the side of Orangutan, and Capricious so precious, very effective with these takedowns. Alaka now, all alone, standing up. There's the resurrection, but there is no reviving life here for RRQ. Orangutan, they send it down, and they will get these takedowns.
He almost got Ayumi back up to speed, but isn't this the thing? They've been struggling with the anchor, so with the economy to support the up buy, they buy that to maybe change that fact. We've been talking about them playing the retake, or to at least try to attempt to play the retake a bit more, but we know it's a bit more difficult when you have the operator, so you're faced with a difficult situation. Do they try and double down on, stopping that hard push here from Orangutan a bit more with an op, or do they try and really play for that retake with a rifle instead on their duelist?
Yeah, the first minute worked out well for RRQ Kaguya, but near the second, it was same old from Orangutan. Still having the B main angle useful for holding down that retake. Players like Capricious yet again just coming in crucial. And speaking of, he's ready to push now for this A site. Raptors though held together here by RRQ. They're already preparing a bit of a retake action. Smoke gonna be in the way. Iceberg though preparing on the high ground. Lockdown the answer here for RRQ too.
A counter lockdown coming from RRQ to buy them the space that they need. They gave up the plant. Here comes up the flash. Aluka still connects the shot up close, but the trade there, quick from Capricious, not enough to get it. Nabsky able to find one of her own, and they're taking this heaven control. Can they force off, though, the main position as a flank comes in from Casper?
Oh, Casper's in position, and Chloe with the shots anyway. Through the smoke, figured out the puzzle pieces to fit in. And Orangutan, they do it yet again. There's so much courage right now for this Orangutan squad here, black and blue. The push despite the lockdown, the willingness to receive it. Capricious and Japips doing early damage, and from that point on, the post-plant positioning from Chloe as well as Casper, so effective to catch out RRQ when they thought they had a safe haven.
There's no safe spot for them as of the moment. RRQ back against the wall, last round of the half. They're down 3-8. Difficult position to be on Ascent. But Orangutan have just been so impressive here on Ascent. We saw that a while ago in their matchup against Big Scythe, and it was really dominating, 13-8, so they're really feeling this. And so far, you can see a lot of that benefit of getting warmed up right before this benefit them coming into this game.
Yeah, they finished that map 13-3. And their first half was 9-3. They got off the gates running so very hot. And Orangutan right now, it just seems like this is another one of those, I'd say, certain re-rosters that have worked out here for Open 1. Obviously, SMG, the biggest example. Orangutan fighting tooth and nail through the lower bracket to do that as well. Speaking of, a very different approach right now. Didn't work out the last time they went for that mid-push for Orangutan. This time, though, that spike is in the hands of Japips. You have Capricious prepared to push even further towards Market. And while the paranoia is there, Alex just goes with the Cloud Burst. The blades will catch out Ayumi. But of course, there's still a second wave coming your way. Nasty, though, in such a strong spot. Ready to receive Japips and Casper. Timing everything here for the side of RRQ. And it's Zinni and Chloe stuck in the middle.
The bite of that Bulldog so deadly in this situation.
One enemy
Best
remaining.
does get the kill as well on the Chloe. That was a great catch. And now RRQ looking like the best round they've had this half so far.
They didn't expect that. there. They didn't expect that from the side of Orangutan, but Zinni expecting contact there. 1v3. Still a possibility if she can isolate these duels. You can see though for RRQ Kaguya. Plan in action now. Fortify where their spike is at. Alaka also has the blades just in case. Null Commando. Does Zinni even bother using it in this situation? Suppress can get value, sure, but it'll tell
left.
also the opponents where her location is rather. Orangutan. They've been strong at the hits, but they need the spike to get that sight. And with Zinni now looking to deal with a completely lined up RRQ Kaguya spot. This might be Iceberg catching her off guard. 4-8 to end the half.
Another last kill here by Iceberg.
Switching
And
sides.
RRQ at the very least get the last round of the half to potentially bring that momentum over to the second. But so far, Orangutan, pretty comfortable spot. And I know our panel's in a comfortable position as well. Raph and Jenny, how you guys doing?
We're doing great, gentlemen. 8-4 scoreline, but don't let that fool you guys at home. That's not the skill difference between these two teams. It's more about Orangutan being so good at maximizing those narrow windows of opportunity. Raph, tell us more.
Absolutely, and I completely agree with that sentiment, right? Especially knowing that Orangutan is going to be entering this map a little more warmed up in comparison to RRQ. But what I like about RRQ is in those last 2 rounds, they found a little bit of semblance of control, right? Because the biggest question for me was something that I would usually ask on the side of OGT. They have all the pieces. They have basically the plan of attack, but how is it going to come together? What is the unifying force for all of them? And it seems like they're still developing it, but if they continue to perform like they did on that very last round, then I believe they're going to give OGT a run for their money. At the same time, on the side of OGT, Japips is truly such a very, very appreciated presence. Again, she's always been there when the times get tough, when they need few, or rather 2 or 3 quick kills, she's always going to pop up whenever she's that third in.
Yep, talking about popping up, I'm pretty sure that they didn't expect her to pop up over at B main during that very first pistol round. But of course, we are going to go into that switch really quickly. Raph, how do we think this switch is going to affect both teams since we are on Ascent?
Once again, very, very good question. Thank you. As we have a bit of a streak going on for OGT, they have not lost a pistol round today. Are we going to see the streak broken by RRQ? If, once again, they continue that synergy on that last round, there is a strong possibility. But OGT's recognition of just behavioral and player habits has been on a different level.
All right, on a different level. Well, we'll see if RRQ can bring up the heat. Black and Blue and Dax, back over to you.
Momentum. I feel like that's something we have to talk about here, Black and Blue, as we get back into the game. Pistol wins, as Raph has mentioned. Orangutan have not dropped a single pistol so far in between 2 series. RRQ Kaguya hasn't found a pistol round in between 2 series as of now. So that recovery is so important here for RRQ Kaguya. This pistol is a make or break moment for this attacking side now.
And we've seen Orangutan break the spirits of many a team like Big Scythe a while ago due to winning these pistols with such a large deficit already to further build up that momentum as you talked about here, Dax. But opening round of the second half, A site once more is where contact shall be. Suppresses out on the other side, keeps them both at bay. And this is a difficult spot for Capricious to anchor down into, so rightfully so, falls back.
Now, Orangutan, they know when to disengage on the defense. They also have the tools, especially with Zinni prepared for it. But as soon as they peaked this time, Alaka was more prepared for it. The flash didn't really get the connection they wanted. RRQ Kaguya in the meantime opened up that A side, dashed in immediately. Alaka getting prepared yet again. Casper though, waiting for the door. This might be a chance, but it's to close as soon as the shutters do drop. Plant now comes here for RRQ.
You can see she was tempting fate there. She wanted to try and peek on out, maybe get an opening kill. It doesn't come though. 3v5. Paranoia presence still here up online for Bess. On to stop this retake from coming on in, but Casper finds a huge pick, traded out by Yumi immediately. They have the help position. The only one towards heaven's gonna be Japeeps, but like the Angel strikes down, Alaka being taken on out.
You can feel already the circles of heaven looking to converge. And speaking of, dropping on down to the generator. Casper, though, does it yet again. Big pickoff, big impact from Casper. It's 2v2 now. The stall though from Navsky using the nano swarm for Yumi. But through the smoke, Ayumi finds the 3 anyway. RRQ, they needed that pistol. They will get it.
Those are some of those moments sometimes where you would love to have the smoke on the spike itself, but they needed to smoke off that B main in the first place to be able to peek that hell position a bit more comfortably. Nice effort by the defense here of Orangutan, but RRQ, they get the pistol round they so crucially needed here.
Yeah, RRQ, it's one thing to do that. It's another to keep going with it. Orangutan, they made that so close. It looked to be such a clean take for RRQ. And we see it again and again. Orangutan always making it costly for their opponents. And this time around, it's the same kind of ambition here from Capricious as well as Ziddy. The 1-2 punch though, backing away this time. Their combo up feels the fury of that extra arsenal.
Well, it certainly brought us much more of a better opening half from RRQ here. The type of round they needed. But this is where they get to set the pace a bit more. A while ago on the defense, it was all about mitigation of what Orangutan's hard hits were. But now that they're on the attacking side here, RRQ, they get to choose how these rounds go, at least, or where the action happens.
I think that's a really good point. The pace now defined by RRQ. When Orangutan is just looking for that terminal velocity to smash down their opponents. Thing is though, these Spectres will pack quite the punch. Smoke right now from Casper, trying to play close, trying to at least get there. Is RRQ now looking to clean up house. 2, make that 3. The site now secured here by RRQ. Casper though and Japips, at the very least, making some good damage happen. And in this case now, despite being planted, it's difficult here for OGT to find any other opportunity as RRQ station themselves yet again.
Maybe they can get this catch off on the Navsky, and that would be good for Orangutan. Just don't see it though, not in this round, not just yet. Chloe, she's gonna be the contact there. You can see they're pinging Ayumi's position. They know someone has to be there on the swing, on the pop-up. Whenever contact is made, they're ready for it, but I don't think they're gonna be just too wary. Oh, 1v1 somehow. The trades come on in. Chloe with a mere frenzy, but she has no idea of Navsky's position. Who simply has the bare angle, drops down. Could have been it, but timing never worked out.
Why is it always Orangutan? It feels like there's so many moments that they got this. That this is a player like Chloe, this is a player like Casper, that they are just gonna bring the magic out. With RRQ, they at least stabilize at the very end, and to the credit truly there for RRQ, the wrap around helps them out immensely. That was such a costly eco round though for them. The anti-eco, it survives as a single Spectre. And this is the chance right now for Orangutan to get back into it. Not the best arsenal for RRQ Kaguya, but they have 2 ultimates to try and make work with.
Well, the ults here, for certain, are going to be a big thing to swing around these type of bonus rounds. They have to be able to figure out Casper, that was playing a really good crossfire here. Japeep's at the ready.
There with the takedown. Casper's prepared too, and Orangutan setting it up well. Can they go for more? Navsky opportunity, but Casper still receives and is able to get the takedown. Paranoia for Paranoia, lobbing those blinds, and Casper one more time. Essential and exquisite. Looks for the 4th. It's Sydney there to clean up in the end. Nicely done by Orangutan. That mid presence gives them that round.
Some picks found here though in the bonus, but yeah, 6-9. Orangutan looking pretty nice so far on that rifle round. But I mean, it was a bonus from RRQ. They tried something new. They tried to maybe split up this B side hit. I think the B main push itself was just a bit late there. If they were a bit earlier, that would have split the attention of, you know, the defense here of Orangutan, and maybe a player like Japips wouldn't have been able to get away for free.
Yeah, but Orangutan is playing on such a different level right now with speed here. Black and Blue, they're so quick at reacting to what RRQ wants to do in the first place. And it's just a bit of, I'd say, stability from that first half. This is the other side of the coin. If they can go for the hard hits themselves, they will know how to answer back with it. The rifles, though, out here for the side of RRQ Kaguya. Aluka yet again looking to lead the charge, and I'm watching out for Ayumi. She has that null command, can be helpful. Orangutan though, set up with the crossfire. Paranoia's there to try and help out that wave, but it's a 1-for-1 at the end of the day, and the rotation comes from Orangutan instead.
Yeah, 4v4 still. Ayumi very low. They have to from the shadows to maybe gather information before this retake comes on in. Null command pop will allow them to gain just a bit more presence within outside and control as the retake hits.
Yeah, they lose the stall from the Killjoy, sure, but Ayumi, a single bullet from Demise, and Rafters yet again. Position here for Orangutan. I'm looking forward to what Japips can do from that angle, especially. But Namski finds Casper to begin with. It's Orangutan, though, with generator control. They try to play around the spike as much as possible. The Cloudburst to cover up that main 2, but it does lead to a 2v2 scenario. Namski Best playing towards main, waiting for Orangutan to challenge, and Namski and Best will win out those duels anyway. It's 7-9 as RRQ are getting back into the game a bit.
That's a cute jet spray. I haven't seen that one. It's the funk. But even better here for RRQ is the fact that they were able to isolate those fights there in the end. And even though Orangutan, they brought down to a 2v2, the fact that they just didn't have the utility that they'd want in a post-plant retake like that available in the 2v2 anymore, like a smoke or something to cut that sightline, just made it a lot more difficult for them. And they were forced to press the issue and press forward, which RRQ were ready for.
And RRQ is just so prepared for those scenarios. One of their biggest foundations in Game Changers is how they can punish the over-aggression of other teams. Orangutan, though, still see that they have so much moxie despite going on eco state. I do wonder, though, from what we've seen so far from Orangutan, they have had so much momentum and they have so much aggression. But when do we get that temperance that perhaps might be missing right now?
Maybe. Certainly lacking. And we've seen this from Orangutan, right? Their hard hits, always great, but the mid-rounds, that's when they struggle. And that's what RRQ love to apply over and over. Play the slower style of games. Any good for the one here on the trade on Ayumi. Pull back and retrieve the rifle. They split this up, though, and Chloe gets a trade.
Well, you know what Orangutan does well? Turn water into wine, turn lesser buys into pack of punches. And while Nabsky will eventually stop the rampage of Chloe, we are still in this scenario yet again. Orangutan, despite the odds, equalize the numbers. The alarm bot though says hello to clear. Capricious, how did she get away with that one? Nabsky couldn't get the connection, and Orangutan, this is their opportunity to just put a heart, put a dagger to the hearts of RRQ. Iceberg falls, and Orangutan does it anyway. 10-7 for the defense.
Thrifty.
And isn't that kind of what we saw a while ago on their attacking side, right? In the first half, Orangutan always so good on these trades. No kill came unanswered in that round specifically. Every time you'd see RRQ get a kill, Orangutan were there for the trade. They're at the ready to get one of their own in retaliation, and because of that, just the basics of the understanding of how to take a fight allows Orangutan to throw a thrifty round in their face.
That's the thing, right? It was only a matter of time till those odds actually stacked up towards Orangutan instead. The fact that they were able to keep the numbers equals as much as possible gave them that chance, and they are rewarded for their service with that round now. This is the perfect opportunity for Orangutan to build such a good economy, not just in terms of the money here, Black and Blue. You also have so many ultimates for the defense at the helm.
We've yet to see, uncharacteristically actually, really deep pushes on the defensive side from Orangutan, either towards mid or any of the mains. The most obvious thing we've seen in that regard has been that A main push a while ago earlier in the half, but hasn't come so far. They like to leave this alarm button, just like to leave mid up open instead for kind of splitting here the attacking side.
They want them to funnel towards the site, that's for sure. They are keeping an eye out the main though. There's presence being applied by Best as well as Nabsky. Iceberg suppressed right now. It's problematic here for RRQ. They cannot push the way they want to because of Zinni's utility. And here we have it now. Nice there too to figure out who's playing towards main. You can see also Casper has just been an Overwatch duty all throughout this round. She was watching the CT side. Now she's watching here to anticipate the market drop if ever. Smoke can be in the way though. Ayumi caught that first and foremost by Chloe. Second one perhaps no, it's RRQ instead with the takedowns. Casper now trying to find a little bit of logic into this one. 3v3 as the lines reset. RRQ make it towards the site and even pick up the spike there by the staircase.
They have a single rifle here on Alika. Should be able to get the plant on down, but they've traded things once more here, Orangutan. That's a big thing. RRQ have done the same. 3v3, as you said. They have the lockdown to utilize, but I think it's a bit too late to pop that at this point. Alika goes down, but traded out by Nabsky.
There we have it down the farm though for the stall. Casper trying to watch out for any other opportunities. Has it though, trying to force RRQ out. Best as well as Navsky still sticking all around in cover as much as possible. A game of discipline, but it's Casper ready to catch one out. A second one perhaps. Best goes down, and the star of South Asia does it again here for Orangutan. Conveniently enough, it goes the way of Orangutan, but Casper was just such an important part of that puzzle, of those pieces all throughout this whole freaking series.
And this is why they picked her up, knowing just the incredible talent that she has, but also the potential to pull off rounds like that and moments like that when the going gets tough. She knows how to get rough. Orangutan go up 7-11 against RRQ, but still not a bad round for RRQ by all means. That was a thrifty, or could have been if they won that round, as they came into that with a single hero rifle on Ayumi.
Come on, the ever-presence of Casper all throughout that round. There is so many times RRQ couldn't push just because she was sticking around a certain angle, a certain location. And that's one thing Orangutan has been all throughout this game so far, and all throughout the series against RRQ, whether in the Swiss stage or in the upper bracket playoffs. It's that relentless pursuit of keeping the pressure on. And here we go yet again. 3's the target now for Casper. Paranoia looking to be primed. Will not go for it instead. They're waiting for another opportunity here, Black and Blue. Orangutan repositioning, and Capricious could have been a pick-off over Best there.
Look at this. Look at RRQ pushing though. They want to take this heavy control. It doesn't seem like Casper is aware nor ready for it. They find the opening kill due to that. And Capricious, they can circumvent this off. Chloe gets the 1 kill. The second follow-up from range, and the third on the Alaka. She was ready from the distance.
That distance, man, that is just far-flung action. And Orangutan, no matter how far they are, they will be there to get those takedowns. Best now in a 1v3 scenario. The site here held already by Orangutan. And with that spike in position towards the rafters itself, it's gonna be so problematic. Chloe, can she come in again with another takedown? Yes, she does. A 4K for her, and Orangutan is on map points.
Incredible round here from Chloe. And that's what you need from one of your supports. And we've seen many big rounds like that throughout this tournament from her. To have such a reliable source of stability against a team like RRQ, who have made that their trademark of game. This gives Orangutan such a great edge to play with. And now the timeout has to be forced on RRQ with match point in such a deficit.
This is RRQ getting flustered right now with how Orangutan is playing this. You can see the objective of that last round. Find out where Casper is rotating. Find out whoever's trying to outmaneuver us, because they realize that was a mistake in the round prior to it. But Orangutan takes it to the next step. Ready to suppress with the Odin. Ready for that long-range battle, courtesy of Chloe. It's just so Orangutan so prepared for what RRQ is trying to do around the map right now.
It isn't even just being prepared in general, Dax, because we saw that, Casper wasn't necessarily ready for that push, with Aluka and the rest in the co of RRQ going towards heaven there through the trees, but it's the recovery, I think, is the more important thing here, Orangutan. They may give up an opening pick, okay, but how they recover through the mid-round, which we know is typically the strength of RRQ, that's what Orangutan are able to apply here, and it's really throwing RRQ off a loop.
Yeah, RRQ, they expect that they're gonna find those opportunities the way they're moving around. And they do so with one, but it's not enough. Orangutan, they've been very effective at repositioning, if ever, and this is the perfect opportunity now to try and close this map. Operator in the hands of Capricious. You still have the lockdown for the retake, if ever, for Chloe. But speaking of, though, Navsky begins the action towards that B site. A fake, though, gonna be called. The Hunt is Fury used early on.
Doesn't really find too much on either side. They're trying to fish each other out, but neither hunter can find their prey nor target in this mark. It's Capricious who gets the opening pick here. And this is looking disastrous for RRQ to lose Iceberg.
Navsky finds Capricious, though. Now leads a 4v4 scenario. RRQ still a lot of time to put that spike down towards that A side, but Zinni finds Navsky even. This is now opportunity here for Orangutan. Try and close the gap. Alaka, though, getting in position yet again with the blades. The up trap's gonna be there too to scout out the rafters. Orangutan still holding back though for now.
They still have something to work with here at the very least. They have Alaka with the blades, and she can really turn up the pace. Flash, completely blind. Luckily for them, Orangutan decides to hold off.
Will pop flash down. Gonna be the play here from RRQ. Desperate to get that tree action, but the lockdown will pop, and Chloe will pop those heads anyway. The smile on Orangutan's face knows that they won it. 13-7. It will be the lead given to Orangutan for the lower bracket finals.
Look at that, absolutely still hyped. Zinni's nabbing something off. I don't know what she's saying as of the moment, but they're just so elated about that one. And Chloe, once again, Dax, I think she was the MVP in the latter stages of that map because of not just utility, but the trading capability that we saw a while ago, and that lockdown at the end just provided way too much pressure here for RRQ to deal with.
The clutch stars of Orangutan right now. If it isn't Chloe, it's Casper. It just seems to be the answer again here from Orangutan. But of course, some of the questions we've had so far for the series will be answered by our panelists. We'll toss you guys over to them.
Thank you, Dax and Blue, gentlemen. RRQ taking the first half to warm hands back up, finally resting the furthest away from OGT to make it close, but not close enough. And now we are one map away from four of arguably the most dominant team GC APAC has ever seen dropping out of the competition. Raph, what did we think of map number 1?
Man, there are now extra thoughts
Your
going
mic.
into this as my mic is unmuted. Don't worry about it. I like to scare everybody here, just like how Casper scared everybody on that clutch on round 18. Truly the nightmare on Kaguya Street. And I would just like to highlight that round in itself. It was either an adjustment point or a breaking point, a very uncharacteristic breaking point for OGT. They did such a great job of using that KO utility to reduce the fight to a brawl, but even with a weaker set of weapons, RRQ still found their way on the site and made it incredibly expensive. But of course, Casper was there to save the day, as well as everybody in that squad, including Chloe, who has been a trademark wall of Orangutan as of late.
Yeah, it's just absolutely amazing. We talked about this when it happened earlier today as well. Just the fact that she's bagging those MVPs on a Sentinel. This time around, also highest ACS of her team. Only one to crack that 300 ACS. 23 and 12. Like, we could go on for forever about this girl's positioning, just how smart she plays, how she anchors this team. And then when you add that in with just the mechanical skill from the rest of her squad, right? Casper, Capricious, Japips, as well as Zinni as well. We've just seen them in time again, able to go for those 1v1s, landing those crispy headshots and pistol. And I don't know, man, OGT are looking pretty unstoppable in this series.
Why do I feel like we've been in this position before? OGT convincingly take the first map, and RRQ get their stuff together and just do the reverse steamroll. But once again, OGT did have a pretty long series today. Maybe they really did get those deeper cores engaged, right? So I guess we're going to be dissecting all the highlights that we saw. And man, again, RRQ, they've been in this position so many times, Raichu.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we were a bit worried for them when we saw like the first half of this series. We were like, whoa, like that 4-hour break this afternoon, maybe a bit too long. But then as the series progressed, we just saw RRQ find their footing, I think, after the switch. And they didn't make it close enough, unfortunately, to close out this map 1. But I think they're starting to get there, Raph. I think they're starting to get there.
And it does take time. It does take baby steps. And quite honestly, when I saw OGT get retaliated upon by RRQ, that's when I started wondering too, does OGT have enough to push this over the hill? And with the eruption of all these players and all these clutches, it has been clear to me that they do truly have those pieces. Now RRQ, I asked the same from them too. They have championship caliber players. They have the veterancy, the experience behind everything. Can they honestly pull the consistency to operate as a team, right? Because they're really small lapses, especially with, I believe it was the last round where they tried to retrieve the op, and Zinni was there for the quick retaliation. But of course, the woman of the hour, Chloe TTW.
I'm just so in awe of this girl as well. Like, she's been playing in Game Changers for a few years now, and just to witness the growth that she's had from the start till now is just absolutely insane. I think we did some interviews with her, it was either like last year or the year before, also, where she was fairly new to the Game Changers circuit, and back then when she was also like, sometimes she'd also play Sentinel, right? And she's also mentioned during those interviews that, you know, she gets nervous herself when, like, in the past when you put her in that clutch situation, like, she feels those nerves, but now, like, watching her play, like, it's just absolutely night and day. She's like, you know what, I'm a knife. Like, who is this girl?
Chloe, that is her name. She has introduced herself to the Game Changers. She has introduced herself to the world. And I tried to introduce Dwight, but Dwight moved over there. So, you know what? Maybe that's for another time. Any thoughts before we throw this to the break?
Is Dwight Taylor's cat?
Yes.
Yo, you're already using Taylor's setup, man. You can't also, like, take her. You took her
What do
food
you
during
mean?
lunch. And now you want to,
I
like,
am
come
Taylor.
for her. Oh, well, thank you for your input on the desk as always, Taylor. But Orangutan showing that they're running on not just fumes, got heart, they've got a dream, and boy, are they making that dream come true. We'll find out if they can make this run right after this break.
We wanna get it crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a get it crunk with a couple hundred thugs. Crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a get it crunk with a couple hundred thugs. Everybody round, everybody round, everybody round, everybody round here. Everybody round, everybody round here. Know we getting hype. Everybody round, everybody round, everybody round, everybody round, everybody round here. Know we getting hype. We wanna get it crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a get it crunk with a couple hundred thugs. Crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a get it crunk with a couple hundred thugs. Everybody round, everybody round, everybody round, everybody round here. Everybody round, everybody round here. Know we getting hype. Everybody round, everybody round, everybody round, everybody round, everybody round here. Know we getting hype. Get money. Get money.
Hi guys, and welcome back to what could very well be elimination map for RRQ Kaguya after dropping that map number 1, 13-7 to Orangutan. RRQ, of course, touted by many, I think, coming into Open 1 as one of the tournament favorites. Raf, what do you think they can do to try and bring the series back and get some control?
Oh man, that is a long list because there are so many possibilities that we could see. Is it redemption? Is it repetition of history? But with Orangutan playing the way they have been, RRQ, they might just be a little more worried. We are going to go into Pearl, which is the map that RRQ got axed on. I have to be so honest with that statement. But I guess the first thing that they really have to get going is that they have to find some sort of common ground with everybody, right? Because yes, they have absolute stars, but they have to find that commonality that, guys, the individual performances are great, but we have to find a way to glue all of that for the bigger picture. I feel like that's been lacking in some of the rounds, and I can't blame them. Again, RRQ is a team that's star-studded. They have the ability to just clutch it out when they have to, but it doesn't have to come down to the clutch all the time.
Yeah, as much as we love to see those clutches, it's also a bit unexpected, right? That when you're thinking about RRQ Kaguya and the four core from this team has just been playing together for so long, and they've kept together from last year as well, just adding best. And it just, you don't naturally think that this would be the team that isn't playing as a team. Like, what is the problem here?
I mean, it is a bit of a butterfly effect, right? And I feel like it's also a problem that we mentioned earlier within their first match, right? They're not used to losing control over the dance per se. They're always so used to being dominant. And they kind of forget that all the pieces they have is just so apt for adapting and just finding a layer to break and to just kind of put a lot of band-aids on so many things, right? So maybe it's just one of those things that they have to realize, hey guys, we're also really good at this style of play. Maybe they just have to unlock that part of the kit yet again.
Yeah, and looking at Agents, like, I don't think we'll any surprises. Oh, so maybe it might be a mirror matchup. Oh no. Oh, they're going completely different from their hovers. I was kind of wondering if we would see any of that wild SMG double duelist with the Reyna and the Raze and the Chamber in the mix, but it does look like it will be a almost mirror matchup, except for the fade in the hands of Japips, and that's just, it's just going to be pretty devastating. I think if she does manage to play that well, it just fits in entirely with her kit, with her play style, just her straight up ability to gun diff. So yeah, what do you think? Do you think we're going to see RRQ able to pull this one even real quick?
I mean, I agree with a lot of the sentiments there. If Reina and Chamber were on the field, then that would be a joy for me, but we all know I can't have it my way all the time. And I know that our casters have a lot to say about this, so I feel like they're ready to lock and load.
Familiar situation here, my friend. Familiar situation for RRQ Kaguya down the map. Familiar situation for Orangutan X that they are one away from moving on into the next round. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Nine Stacks here with Black and Blue, and we will see Pearl for this matchup. The thing is, the last time these guys met, it was RRQ Kaguya, I believe, who took that win in the Swiss stage 13-8. Will history repeat itself? We'll find out as we do get into the game.
Oh yeah, and that is the thing, right? Last time around, we started the series on Pearl, RRQ Kaguya going on up, but this time around it's a second one. One they're gonna have to rely on to keep themselves alive with so much expectations on a team like RRQ, as historied, as storied, and as tenured as they may be. This could be their final playing ground, so here we go. Round number 1, map number 2. RRQ fighting for tournament life.
Yeah, that core of RRQ Kaguya, they haven't lost really a tournament ever since that elite setup. They won all the opens of last year under the Alter Ego Celeste banner, but times have changed, and we've seen many a team bridge that gap and move beyond them. It's SMG waiting in the grand finals. It's Orangutan in the lead of this series. The form of Orangutan that we've seen so far today has been just absolutely A-grade. Can they continue on and finish the job off, or will we see the Moxie this time from RRQ Kaguya as they move towards B-site?
We're gonna have to find out, won't we? B-side execute comes really quick from RRQ, trying to deny that back hall's control, but it only be for a momentary lapse in time. Chloe goes down to Ayumi, who just completely bum rushes that backside, and they have control for the meantime, enough to get the plant at the very least.
Yeah, the fragment also lobbed, as you can see on Pearl, Ayumi and Alaka changing roles, and Ayumi getting value with getting the back holes under the straights of RRQ. Here we have it though, Best playing close, but Sydney and Caprice just find the frags anyway. Leads now to a 3v3, has been standing here for Orangutan to try and equalize these odds, equalize these numbers, and now it does tip in favor of Orangutan. Intel though gonna be so important here for Iceberg and Navsky. They're playing towards the ramp itself, and Navsky with the taps and the takedowns. It's perfect utility lobs here thrown by RRQ, and with the angle, they will be effervescent. A pistol win here for RRQ to start off the second map.
The fact that Ayumi was able to get that back hall's control so quick and so clean, and they were able to have just, so much more presence within the site and control of it, allowed them to go for that long plant early and really secure themselves for that post plant. Yes, a smoke in your face, but we saw the nano swarm come in big. We saw that utility delay the defuse ever more so, and it just gave them such a stronger post plant to play with.
Yeah, RRQ had so much time after that entry, courtesy of Ayumi, because you also saw Alaka throw that fragment towards the link area, towards the alleyway itself, really force Orangutan to play a little bit more slowly than they usually want to do so. Pistol now here for the side of Orangutan, anti-eco for RRQ. 4 Spectres actually invested. And you can see that after that game against Team SMG, they're very much more wary about that middle, keeping an eye out towards door, towards Art. And Ayumi yet again looking to lead it. Japips wants to peek it. Jiggles on the round. They now know this presence. They now know they can try to make the takedowns happen. Flash comes. The turret instead. And it's got the RRQ trying to mow them down. Japips does find one with a classic, but it's still RRQ collapsing at the seams. Collapsing on the opposition rather. Zinni though and Capricious. Never mind. It's turbulence here for the side of RRQ as Orangutan do fight back. Best now in a 1v2 situation. We see this so much from Orangutan. Thrifty wins, always a possibility. Crossfire's there too, from the link, from the sites. And as we have Best now moving closer and closer, Capricious confirms that there is presence nearby. Here comes the Bimp, but down he goes. Best though holds the line and clutches that out for RRQ.
Tried to jiggle him, but ultimately folded in the end. RRQ almost losing around their crucial moment. It would have been for Orangutan. Just never came to pass, but Zinni, great timing she finds, with much of the experience that she was able to garner on that previous roster of theirs, using it here to really make sure that RRQ are never too comfortable in those advantageous possible situations.
How will you be comfortable if you lose 4 members on your anti-eco? Orangutan, always a threat, no matter the arsenal. We saw it there be effective. They were just able to get the right timing against, especially the flash of Alaka. And now, they do one even better. Casper starts off strong, catches out Nabsky towards main, forces yet again RRQ to play away from the sides of the map and look to go through mid instead.
Yeah, the fact that they were able to get that opening pick just makes it so much more difficult for RRQ to pull attention elsewhere on this push. They want to push the B link, but there's a star already prepped here by OGT. Casper opts for the retaliation of it instead. She recalls it, doesn't pull the gravity well as I was expecting, nor the stun, and just allows RRQ here to run on over B link.
Yeah, a bit of a heartbreaker there for Orangutan. Could have actually gotten a bit more stall value there. And eventually RRQ mid to be successful. Capricious though spots out best on the inside. A good venture yet again. Courage here from Orangutan to just peek, to just go, and to have those kills. 3 for Casper. Starts and ends the round strong. And finally, we got Orangutan to get a round for themselves.
Yeah, at least they got the stop. Could have been dangerous there, but the retake works on out for Orangutan. Casper getting the catch especially. The RRQ, they got the blades to work with coming into this round, but you see that this is where RRQ do benefit a lot, where even when their mid-round, rather their early round struggles, their mid-round can always give them at least some sort of value for the most part, barring that last map we did see play. They gave up the opening pick. Yeah, Nabsky went down early, but they were still able to get the 2 picks after to potentially win that round.
Yeah, you can see the intention. We've seen how strong the lurk from Best is towards that B site, especially if RRQ can keep capitalizing on that fact. That's an avenue they might want open. On the other side, though, Orangutan answer back in force. There's so much already presence from Capricious and Japips towards the ramp itself. Club being held by Best, and RRQ already just playing the game of anticipation. They know something's up. They know that Orangutan wants to fight them.
Yeah, they pulled, rather pushed forward towards that B main control. If Capricious can catch out Bess, if they do eventually cross that barrier, it could be big here for the defense of Orangutan. They make that contact, but both opt to not have too much to deal with in that bout. Capricious especially falls back with the rest of the team as the arc push coming from RRQ looks to go underway.
We see this so much though from RRQ. Best calling attention towards B, the rest of the team moving instead towards A. But I love the formation here between Casper and Chloe. They still have the backside, something to utilize against the objective in formation. Smokes do pop though. Iceberg looking to go for the plant. Goes towards main instead as well. Angle from Link. A bit more open. Prowler now gonna be into play. Orangutan lobbing utility to try and make the opening happen. But Yumi will get the takedown. Too many numbers here for RRQ right now towards Art. Orangutan will have to see control and move towards the flank instead. It's all left now though. Too Capricious as Alaka mows down the opposition. And from this point on, Capricious stuck in the middle. Can she actually get these takedowns from every single angle? Creeps over to where Ayumi and Alaka are. And a quad here for Alaka to win the round for RRQ.
And that's a classic round played here by RRQ, right? You called it, Dex. They pull that defense a bit more attention towards the B site. And the opposite way of the map is where RRQ go. And they love to play the slow pushes and have a post plan like that where they have multiple points of threat to propose against the retaking defense of Orangutan. And this is a much better start from RRQ than what we saw in Ascent.
Yeah, vintage there from RRQ to say the least, and we'll see if they can keep up with that kind of coordination, with that quality. Orangutan though, still always a threat no matter what. I look at their arsenal right now here, Black and Blue. I'm just like a Stinger, a Sheriff, and some Frenzies. That's still kind of scary if it's Orangutan holding them.
There's a lot to work with for sure. At least for a team like them. We've seen them convert these type of thrifty rounds, so isn't out of the question just yet. Flash on out to maybe buy her some space on this Sova drone, but it doesn't really connect on the shot. Ayumi gets a quick kill. Aluka somehow as well with a fragment as you saw Casper trying to chime in on the fight, and this potency that we normally see from the Thrifty not coming in on, at least for this round.
This is perfect here for RRQ. Instead of being a little too overambitious, they're keeping 1 or 2 members at the rear to watch out for any angle they've already cleared. They know Orangutan, they want to slink in and find other opportunities to the surprise of RRQ. The flank now spotted by Best. Best though, effective in these scenarios, playing with cover and playing with her food. Capricious will go down. Next on the list might be Japip. She has a bit of an angle, she has the frenzy, sure, but a single swing will do her in. It's RRQ ready at the waiting, and a flawless one to boot to make it 4-1.
Good start once more from RRQ, suppressing Hunter's Fury on that RRQ side. It can be denied though immediately if Zinni waits and times this perfectly, or at least in anticipation of it. A timeout called by Orangutan early, stopping, or at least attempting to stop momentum from RRQ, but they've got that Cosmic Divide, which we see a lot of times. Orangutan, they like to use that as kind of their safety net when in terms of retaking, and knowing that they have that in their arsenal, that's exactly how I'm going to expect them to play for this round.
Yeah, I'm looking into how Casper again is gonna manage his battlefield. The Astros are so important right now in a game like this compared to what we saw a while ago, because we talked about it, that staying power, the stall power is one of the strongest that RRQ can utilize, and I'd say even the same for Orangutan. Like Orangutan, they can play in such a high speed, but when you have Casper there on the Astra, you know that there's ways to manipulate that battle. It's just up to Orangutan to figure out, do they want to push, do they want to fight, or do they want to control angles like Link to their advantage?
Let's not forget that they're both playing a single controller. And these are controllers as well that can only ever pop 2 smokes. Not like a Brim, not like a Harbor, which can maybe close up multiple lanes. When it comes to Pearl, it's the only map where both sites have 3 positions to smoke at all times. And that can really leave some openings up for the defense here to maybe capitalize on. We just haven't been seeing that just yet here for Orangutan, but that could change very soon.
Yeah, some nook and crannies that perhaps Orangutan can hide in. Capricious. A chance perhaps behind those screens especially. RRQ. Slow walk, a slow crawl to go for this deep side. They are going to get the orb unmade. Capricious though spotted. That's already a target here for Ayumi. Disengaged now, called by Orangutan. And RRQ refusing to push it. They're going to stay in their lanes for now.
Yeah, she gives herself up. Even dangerous. And you see there Capricious wanting to use that angle from B-Link. This is what I talked about. An Astra can only ever smoke 2 angles at a time. There's a third for them to worry about in that case. They send the RRQ attack to a bit of a halt in the moment, but they still have that null command to re-hit.
Seems like the problem right now. Orangutan gonna be staying in their lanes and staying back. RRQ though eventually waiting for the hit to happen with the null command, but Capricious still stellar, still stable. Finds that first versus Ayumi. Now then, calm before the second wave of the storm. Orangutan though still holding the angles. RRQ desperate to find an opening here. The peak comes from Zinni with a takedown, and Orangutan now looking to converge on their targets. Natsuki trying to make it towards Halls, but it's Orangutan with the numbers anyway. A double up towards the backside, and it's Capricious with a third. Another one bites the dust as Chloe spots out Best. And Orangutan, it was a showdown there towards that B side, but there's the ones with Frontier Justice on their side.
And this is one of the symptoms of RRQ sometimes though. They do lack that explosiveness that you would want to see from a team. Yes, the opening pick was found by Capricious, and so the playstyle of RRQ a lot of times is not necessarily to create openings, but punish opportunities. And they were waiting there on the long, waiting for Orangutan to peek on out, but Orangutan knew they had the person, the player advantage, and so they weren't going to peek out. They're being diligent about that. And by the time RRQ went to actually go execute onto the site, their null command has expired, their smokes were about to dissipate, and they were just simply left out in the open.
Yeah, it was stellar maturity, especially from Orangutan. Perhaps that's something they discussed right now between their timeout. It's just, make sure we're not overheating. Make sure we're also not being the ones punished right now by RRQ Kaguya. It's really lessons learned like we see here. It allows Orangutan to compete even better. Smoke though, now pop Alaka. Trying to find any angle here to spam. Does back on the way. RRQ Kaguya. They know the slower pace might be a better call here throughout the map.
I mean, it generally is their playstyle, isn't it anyways, Dax, right? To really halt that pace. Keep Orangutan anxious as much as they can. They have a good read on this. Yes, Killjoy utility on B, but Chloe's all alone here. defend this off. If they can run over the site and bypass all that utility, then they can make something on happen. Suppress doesn't connect. It leaves those alarm bots still open and up.
Yeah, it's still a presence there made by Orangutan, but eventually Chloe has to retreat. RRQ's already stationed. Lockdown though getting the call, and Capricious playing danger close. Casper and Chloe, where did those kills even come from? And immediately it's Orangutan looking to just get back at RRQ. The spike isn't even down, the lockdown is there, and while the destruction of Navsky's ultimate is confirmed, it's best now in a 1v3, too far off. And into the distance, Orangutan will get the round yet again. Casper coming in crucial. And just with a little bit of that respect right now, a little bit in reserve, Orangutan reassess and get the round.
Certainly no monkey business here being played around by Orangutan. Simply just overrun that site with the pressure. They didn't even wait for their lockdown to go off. They didn't even wait to have that opportunity to use that space because they knew the counter lockdown from RRQ would have been a problem. And so they just, once again, overrun him. And that confidence in their veins, soothing through, it feels like it's just a bit too much for RRQ to deal with at times.
The first few rounds were defined by RRQ well-roundedness. But now Orangutan has proven too. In the last 2 rounds, there is so much balance and so much potential, both on the attacking and defending sides, to push and pull. It continues. I'm really liking what we see here from both sides. Orangutan, bit by bit, increasing their stock even more so on how they've been playing out this map. RRQ in the meantime, so some same old shenanigans. Best looking to just confirm that B-site presence. You got Chloe waiting for that one, but Alec and Casper perhaps at first contact. Knife being set, there's the fragment instead, but oh no, over by Zinni. The disengage might be the call, but instead it will be Chloe getting one towards the other side of the map. Casper though tried to hold art, and action all across leads to a 3v3 where RRQ just trying to figure out where they can go to now.
These are situations that define a team like RRQ. Opting to go towards that A site. You can see Capricious. She's falling back. They think they have a read on this, but they're kind of splitting themselves on up. As soon as this A hit comes, you can expect that defense to come running.
30 seconds
There shouldn't be much of a problem to get the spike down.
Yeah, it seems like for RRQ, the way they rotated might have thrown Orangutan for a loop. I believe I saw Chloe a while ago towards Link, and instead, Capricious might be the one to try and lead the charge. Prowler though gets connection. Capricious with an easy takedown from the side. Spike's planted now. 3v2, but Iceberg gonna be the next victim. Danger close. My name is Capricious, and Capricious does it yet again. A triple kill. Truly, it was just a bit of that insight, a bit of that instinct. She knew something was coming, and she is rewarded for it to give Orangutan that 4-4 scoreline.
And those are the type of rounds that Orangutan have been successful in converting, haven't they? And that's what I talked about during map number 1. Maybe not the opening picks always going their way, but the recovery. That's the important thing. Recovering a round when the advantage is swept against them, like when RRQ get the plant down there, knowing how to play with the deficit and come back into it.
As it goes to show right now, Orangutan, they always have that presence around the map. They feel that RRQ, sure, they're going to be moving around, they're going to try to mobilize and hit these sites, but when we see for Orangutan, they're prepared for those retakes. They always have those closer angles held. They always have someone already on the advance, and that extra step ahead is what allows Orangutan to bridge this gap.
They have utility to fend off this B-Link push there, rightfully so. That was well prepared and anticipated by Orangutan. The Star, the Nano Swarm, just so much forcing RRQ to shy away.
Yeah, RRQ still stage to go. Sure, there's one shy, but twice now will be the entry. Fragment lob towards the connector.
Oh.
Flashes the call, and Japipson and Alaka didn't see each other because of it. Eventually, the re-engage works out in favor of RRQ. He got away with a pick, and Zinni trying, dipping into the cookie jar. Has to back on away, though. RRQ, will they punish? No, instead, they're holding the angles yet again.
A cookie for her in the meantime. Not much found there with the suppress either on that 0 point. And because of that, it's going to keep Orangutan guessing on where this hit is going to come from RRQ. Are they walking up B-Link? Are they splitting this in a connector? Do they walk up Art? And that latter seems to be true. They have a Nano Swarm at least to maybe try and delay this push.
That split push is going to be the call indeed here for the side of RRQ. Now the swarm in the way yet again for the Ayumi, waiting through the waters to get that takedown. Casper though still making it deadly. Ayumi again and again, lethal blades and a lethal weapon herself. All up to the operator of Capricious, 3v1 scenario, but RRQ, they've taken the site already heavy-handedly. And look who's on the flank. It's Best prepared to try and counteract Capricious. Blades though are the call, and because of the advance, it gives her a chance here, Black and Blue. 1v3 on the site yet again, has to find the solo duels, and Capricious will find Navsky along the way. Next one on the list might be Best, hiding into the corner and out into the open. She'll get the takedown. RRQ keep the lead.
Dude, she is giving me some prod vibes to that one, just completely rushing it without a moment's notice, without much hesitation. But you see RRQ on those rounds where they can keep Orangutan guessing. They took so much control of Link that Orangutan simply weren't ready or just didn't have the information on where exactly the presence of RRQ was, and kept Orangutan once more just always stipulating but never entirely sure where the hit was to come, and RRQ used that surprise to their advantage.
Yeah, RRQ, just angles of opportunity. We've seen how they take map control, not just to take away the site itself, but the way that they advance and the way they pull back has been one of the strongest, I'd say, foundations they have as a team. There are many times we see in other maps like Fracture, I'd say in maps like Haven, RRQ loves to play the pull away just to make sure that they have so many different kinds of coverage. And you see it there in that last round. Capricious, it was a fortunate occurrence, especially that she dashed on in because she was getting flanked, but she had to search so much of the map just to find where RRQ were ready, and as soon as she was caught in the middle, that was pretty much it for her.
Just a lot for her to deal with in that situation, and one could never fault someone to falter in that scenario. But they both have the Cosmic Divide in RRQ. We've seen many fake plays that they like to pull out in these type of situations, especially when they have Aluka's null command for the opposing site. So knowing that RRQ love to pull the defense towards one side of the map and then rotate towards the other, and with Bess typically having that duty to herself, they can continue to do that in this round after this initial contact.
Yeah, RRQ though, I've seen many a time they're just trying to pull away attention. Orangutan, in the meantime, Vicious here with the hold close. Wanted to go through the smoke. The null command actually going to be the call. First opportunity here for RRQ to try and mow them down. Casper now caught out in the open, finds a frag for herself. But that's pretty much it. This is RRQ getting the takedowns that they need, and they're on site yet again.
Yeah, overrunning once again. Their split pushes have been one of the more successful tools in their workbench so far here, RRQ, and Orangutan simply cannot hold up. A pretty clean round from RRQ, and isn't that what we see from them? When it works splendidly.
And they have the right tools to do so. That null command was just magnifique. That was perfectly timed and perfectly placed. As soon as they confirmed that's the A main presence, it just encompasses with the AoE, and distinct advantages are what RRQ look to seek in these kind of rounds.
To have those advantages really utilized against Orangutan, RRQ, they're arguably the team here that has, you know, just tenure-wise been together longer, right? That's a fact, and it just allows, it should allow a lot more of those rounds where their mid-round calls can really benefit them when they find those openings. Orangutan have been good in dissuading that so far. They are on the defensive side, but they have a thrifty on their hands to play.
Yeah, in a matter of split pushing, right? You want to just initiate, but also receive each other as soon as you get near the end. Just go for that convergence. And RRQ, you mentioned that chemistry, you mentioned that history. It's always been there in spades. Orangutan, though, still always a threat. Aggression here from Precious right now. You can see the more advanced positions for Orangutan. Bess is able to clear out towards the B side. Chloe wants to hold close, but Alaka and Ayumi are prepared for it. RRQ now navigating towards B. They will find Casper in pursuit, and Iceberg will get the trade. Eventually leads to a 3v2.
Well, they had some kills going their way, but that's about it in this round. Good damage, especially if they can get another.
Weapon here.
That's all they're going to really hope for in this
planted.
case. They can retrieve some of these weapons, drop towards B-Link, but they're going to be hitting them from the same angle. RRQ, they just take complete control of that CT in the heaven position. Is it really wise to use a Nightfall in this case, though?
Well, they picked up rifles, that's the thing. Towards Link, there is a bit of confidence right now from Orangutan. They want to try, they want to fight for it. Precious right now, trying to get through the smoke, but Navsky's there to catch her in the act. Japips now, 1v3, floor is lava, and down here on the ground, it's dangerous territory. RRQ are just playing post-plant so well. Timing and patience, just a creed here right now. And shouldn't really have enough time for this one. A try here from Orangutan, but the ambition this time will blow up in their faces. 7-4.
Well, RRQ. Decisive round once more here. Was against Nico. Orangutan put up a good fight, but this is something we did see in some of their matches on the previous days, right? Leading up to this game. I recall especially versus that global esports squad where you'd see sometimes they would use their ultimates as kind of Hail Marys, Band-Aid situations for rounds that they aren't even expected to win instead of using them to confirm rounds that they could. I get the idea though. They have lots of ultimates coming into this round anyways, and it was a winnable one. It just wasn't a risk that turned their way, unfortunately.
Yeah, and by this point, it's near the end of the first half, so it's a lot more manageable compared to some of the other games we've seen where they try to do that early, right? And it blows up their economy because of it. Speaking of, their economy is pretty fine right now. 3 ults, as you mentioned, rifles at the ready. And they're just getting prepared for where RRQ are going to set up. Spike left behind one more time. RRQ are really loving this slower pace right now against Orangutan, though.
We talked about it. They're one of the best teams at playing this kind of style here. The Game Changers APAC scene really bleeding out the clock or just cutting that noise and keeping the defense guessing. This is why their attack a lot of times is a bit more efficient than their defense. When they can set these expectations, that's when they work best.
Looking for that guessing check. Capricious though, checking out of that angle after the damage. But this man, look at this, our RRQ right now. They will still station themselves up to move towards that B side. Lockdown gonna be the call though. Navsky trying to play the bluff. And it will be up to Casper to see if they'll be guessing.
Well, they for sure heard some of that rotation come on in. And it forces out the A defenders here to fall on back. That fake keeps in there for the meantime. Information gained that the B hit is going to come. Casper can't really do much to keep him at bay as of the moment. They have the counter lockdown here in a Chloe and the Cosmic Divide for this retake.
Yeah, RRQ, they get positioned, but they lose a Yumi along the way. No angle to watch out towards that link. And the lockdown gonna be the call instead. High ground right now, best ground for Orangutan. They drop down, they also go for the Cosmic Divide. The flank from Alaka right now, as well as the killjoy of Navsky. Alaka with the takedown. They're trying to get towards that spike, but Navsky might be crucial for a round like this. Catches out the fifth. Chloe getting halfway, but it's Iceberg with a takedown too. 2v2 scenario. Hunter's Fury now at the call to try and go through the wall. Iceberg likely to come in clutch, but it's Chloe desperate to try and get the defuse going. Casper with a third, time running out, and in cover right now. Chloe will get taken down by Bess. RRQ, they get the round to end the half.
Barely scraped by with a round as well. They almost had the defuse on that. Maybe a half second more, it would have gone Orangutan's way. But RRQ, hold on. What a half. Something I'm sure our panel's got a lot to say about. Raph and Jenny, you guys, what's up?
RRQ cooked for long enough, and do you know what they're cooking? It's the comeback, baby, because, I mean, what a first half to that map, looking so much better than map number 1. Black and Blue mentioned that the playstyle of RRQ is not to necessarily create those opportunities, but to punish their opponent's mistakes. Raph, what do we think about that?
I wholeheartedly agree with that, but there are times, especially when they lose maps, if we put this in boxing terms, right, they're a little bit of an overzealous counterpuncher, always engaging in that power shot, that right hook. But I also feel like since they are so confident in their ability to punish as hard as they can, they have a jab that's completely underutilized when, in reality, they also have that ability to create those openings for themselves. We saw that when they start locking down specific parts of the map instead of taking OGT as a whole. They start dividing and conquering, especially with that round where they took a lot of art control, and from those 2 picks, they just outclassed and absolutely overwhelmed the last remaining members of the OGT squad. And if this continues in the second half, I think it proves our theory right that if you cannot 2-0 RRQ, then you're not gonna win at all.
Phew. I mean, RRQ, they do have that infamous first half that you mentioned, but real quick before we toss it back to the boys on the casting desk, what do we think is going to happen after this swap? Are we going to see more of this RRQ momentum? What do you think?
I will agree with you that we will be taking that momentum a step further because once again, OGT is a squad that is tuned towards that defense, and RRQ already breaking that guard, raining down the punches left and right. It is not a good look. OGT looks so bruised right now.
All right, well, we about to see just how winnable this truly is for RRQ.
She did the rhyme thing.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Yeah.
that rhymes.
I was waiting. It's like, huh? Poet, and we didn't even know it. Thank you there, Jenny and Raph. But we are going to be back here, ladies and gentlemen. And Black and Blue, I gotta say, those were bold declarations made by the panel. But truly, it has been a statement by RRQ from the first half.
Well, I think they're pretty familiar with that case here, Dax. Especially one of them. But RRQ, as of the meantime, it's a big thing for them to get these type of rounds, especially at the end of the half, because we've seen that many times on over. They start to lose momentum when that second half hits, when they go on over to like the defensive side. But in this case, let's see if that sticks true.
That has been Orangutan heavy on the pushes, and Capricious yet again playing the same old style. You can see it already, the advance from Orangutan. They're even vying through the tunnel already here. The flank from Orangutan, for RRQ rather, might be essential, but look at how the attack has taken away what the defense held before.
Well, mind the colors, flip on over now. Casper here pushing on over in a very delicate spot to get a kill. Nabsky quick on that trade. They have the long plant for him, but will it really work out? The scan perfect here for Iceberg. They're going 1-for-1, 1v2 right now. It's all on Japeeps, who brings the equalized count a bit more better.
Half defused now. He's on the high ground, and Japeep with the clutch! Watchtower, sure! But Orangutan does it yet again. The pistol goes their way! And from that point on, RRQ will be shaking their Black and Blue.
Oh my goodness, that should have been RRQ's Dax, but Japeeps willing them with two incredible shots at the end. A 1v3 clutch, showing that she's got it as well.
She got the read with the haunt, and as soon as the swing came, she just transfers it over from Alaka to Ayumi. Simply put and simply done, Orangutan still sharp as ever. And while RRQ tried to make that flank work, I just love the fact that Orangutan realized, okay guys, we can actually advance here. We don't need to retreat back to the long angle. Instead, we can keep safe and keep that high ground in check.
Well, let's see if they can keep safe in this time. For the moment, Orangutan, fast push towards that B site. Once again, the back hall is being occupied by Napki, the side who simply stands no chance as Capricious runs her over.
Oh, run over indeed, and it is this highway robbery right now from Orangutan. We see the speed yet again, and we're going 99 miles per hour here. Ayumi, though, trying to, at the very least, find opportunity. Good flip towards Chloe, not enough to get that takedown, though. And Japips will instead get the kill herself. Firepower advantage here for the side of Orangutan. The angle is also as aggressive. They're just choking the life out of RRQ. And from this point on, with Alaka all alone, he has to be fearful of the spray, but pray to your gods here, RRQ, because Orangutan gets the flawless.
Yeah, not a single person dropped here by Orangutan. And this is the side, really, where Orangutan do typically perform best. They love to be on the attacking side where they can set the pace. We saw that come in as well during their match versus RRQ, although RRQ had the benefit of closing out in the second half on the attacking side the first time they fought each other on Pearl in this tournament, in this split specifically. But now that Orangutan have an opportunity to play that second half attack, this is what they really wanted their position to be in.
Yeah, the form of Orangutan really suiting the offensive, and Ayumi caught out immediately in the crosshairs of Chloe. Orangutan, they just don't flinch whatsoever. Blink and you'll miss it, they're already in front of you.
You have to be very ready for those type of pushes here. RRQ getting caught on out, trying to go for the jab, didn't expect the hook. Orangutan using that manpower, using that bulldozer strength of theirs once more to overwhelm the defense here for RRQ on those type of pushes.
Yeah, that's a crucial word right now. Overwhelmed despite the rifles at hands of RRQ. Orangutan looking for another opportunity to re-engage. They still have Vide for mid though. RRQ in the meantime, they just want to cut off any push towards that B side. Flash gets thrown. Orangutan though crawling towards that A side instead. I do believe we have one playing towards dugout here for the side of RRQ. Navsky now flushed out bit by bit. Utility to open up opportunity here for Orangutan. And Bess, there's so much on her shoulders right now. Capricious though caught by Bess. And this is RRQ equalizing for now. Zinni though prepared for this one. Pips is there too. And here we go again with the advance. But RRQ set up a net and catch out Orangutan there.
Look at how reliable Nabsky is in that situation. That's exactly what you would want for your Sentinel. Still, the Orangutan, good damage done. 1v2. It's going to be difficult. Spike out of her hands. They know where she's coming from. In the crossfire, the pull as well popped, rather the pulse popped at the right time for Alika to swing around. And RRQ shut them down on their anti-bonus.
Yeah, nicely done there by RRQ, but honestly, a mark of a true veteran team. Usually, you're just gonna get overrun if you get cleared out angle after angle, but they realize where in the map there, Black and Blue, that they can station, and the moment they moved towards Secret, they were just ready to receive what Orangutan wanted to take from them.
And once more, yeah, just to be able to have that backup on those type of rounds where Orangutan want to overwhelm you, want to zerg you, want to simply just throw bodies and numbers more than you can really digest. For RRQ to be playing that backup type of game style, that's really what benefits them many times on over.
RRQ, the safety net is so important, and this time around, looking to build their own haven towards middle yet again. So much utility to just try and catch the cross between the KO and the Killjoy. And the Orangutan, they already sniff it out. They back on away, look to play towards club and see if anyone from RRQ pushes towards B site instead.
You can see them tempting with that B-Link push, but it's really B long that they want to continue with. No Cosmic Divide for them yet, but that could change if Casper gets a kill or the Orb here, which I think they're going to try and prioritize for her to try and gain. Make some contact towards B-Link, but RRQ, the defense, they're not too keen on rotating just yet, but now they should as they gain A-main control.
See the conditioning though of RRQ towards Orangutan. They use much more utility to clear out that B main angle, as you mentioned. Like though, looking to get planted. Alika, she has the line of the fragment, but it's still gonna be Orangutan getting the 2 takedowns to get the advantage. High ground here for Alika though, trying to find the angle of opportunity. HP left, a single bullet, can't get the takedown. Suppress though comes KO and Jet confirmed to be nearby. And totally here for RRQ. They need power here from the tunnel side. Casper though prepared yet again at back halls. They're waiting for the double up. As soon as they siege, they will be taken on down. Orangutan at the ready, and they will take this one.
And you said it, Dax, they've been conditioned into having to be cautious, but sometimes you can never really say overly cautious, but that just stalls time away from the rotation here for RRQ and how long it took for them to go on that rotate. And when it came to it, Orangutan have been able to place and plant themselves in really great positions for that retake defense and allow them so much more just in-depth control of the situation that RRQ weren't able to grasp away.
Yeah, and I like the fact that they still have utility to make those positions happen. Yes, they will play it safer towards B main. Yes, they'll invest just a little bit more to angles that are already been cleared out by RRQ. But still, they have enough in reserve and the power positions themselves to go to make the side take work. So Orangutan, a chance right now to rally back because they have the gun advantage.
Well, they're pushing the flank here. Maybe they can bypass that, or rather the alarm bot if they catch it on out. They should alert the presence here of that flank towards the Orangutan attacking side. Mere classics here for the most part on their eco. Once again, Orangutan looking to make this closer.
Oh, she's there though. Awkward scenario. Iceberg looks at her killer in the eye and says, oh, I've been caught with a shorty. 5v4 though, and RRQ, it's difficult now to move towards Link with the arsenal that they have. The flank coming in from Ayumi, we have Casper nearby, and Chloe on Overwatch 2v2. Simple angles here for the side of Orangutan. Easy pickings too, in a flawless manner to keep the scoreline close.
Well, it's a single round between them, so it's as close as it ever would be, barring a tied game. They have so many ultimates to throw out against this RRQ squad and tie it up right here, right now. But the big thing to look at is Ayumi pulling out the operator. How do they use it? Do they have her fall on back and maybe just anchor down the site, wait for Orangutan to come, as we typically see from RRQ? Or do they press her up forward? It seems like they're going with the former.
And something you mentioned a while ago in a previous series, bringing out that operator, especially for your Jets. Look to get value early on as much as possible. Already trying to transfer towards the drop area, but no flash. There you have it. Orangutan, they clear it out. They now know RRQ has intention to play the long angle here.
That was a perfect flash there, anticipating that type of angle to be played. And Orangutan, great read so far on this RRQ defense.
Yeah, back halls though being held. Ayumi, a second chance perhaps if they cross here to the left side of the pillar. But now the Cosmic Divide and the Nightfall will shut that down. Aggression from Alaka. They wanted to intercept, but Orangutan threw enough early on to actually get the takedowns with the advance. Push comes to shove, and advantage yet again for Orangutan. Besto on the opposite end. Caught out by Casper even, and the crossfire setup. 1 for 2. It's all Orangutan to you. Navsky the only one left. She gets 2 for her troubles, but Orangutan, it's always a double up, and it's always gonna be them winning out those fights.
I mean, a double kill at the end, but practically as clean as it could come here for Orangutan in that round. Completely just dismantling that hold there towards B long with the operator by Ayumi. And then the rest of the push just swarming here. That defense once more. And the hard hit of Orangutan is one of the hardest we've seen, barring maybe a team like Team SMG here so far in this tournament. And RRQ just... they might have the tools to answer it, but they can't find the formula.
The formula and the speed, the velocity right now of Orangutan is just on a whole different wavelength. But Ayumi deciding to go Mach 9, and this is gonna be Jug Tips going down. The blades are out, and perhaps the winds have changed here for RRQ. It's a difficult scenario though. They're only on a equal state here.
That stops Orangutan, rather RRQ, from taking that rifle that they dropped on the Peeps. Maybe the flank here from Bess and Co. could be big, but will they even find that timing going their way? Chloe shuts down Bess. It's Navsky to maybe catch him on out. If they don't clear her, ooh, trigger discipline. Could have maybe found and fished for a second. Only gets the one.
Finds the frag, sure. Matter of timing right now, but Orangutan, they expected the flank to happen. Instead, though, leads to a 3v3, and the one they're gonna have to challenge yet again will be Ayumi. Staying into dugout, still has a chance to reposition with the updraft if ever. Nova Pulse gonna get popped though there by Casper. Looking to just clear it out as much as possible. Flat is gonna be a timing. The Hunter Fury and the Blades now do converge. Elements align here for the side of RRQ. Setting up a proper station. Casper though, over onto the corner. Capricious looking to challenge the Blades as well. The Dart though bouncing from the link area. Dugout yet again the position here for RRQ. A game of push and pull. The tides looking to turn in favor of RRQ yet again. Alaka with the takedown. It's Casper into the corner, getting hit through the wall even. Time running out. Desperate scenario here for Casper right now. The shock dart's gonna get lobbed. Timing everything. Casper though isolating Alaka, but that might all she gets. It's Ayumi with a 3K and a thrifty here for RRQ.
Well, RRQ played that so well there in the end in the 3v2. They knew they didn't have the advantage, even if they had the player count. Yes, the weapons just wasn't enough to really take a 1v1 fight multiple times on and over, and so they play it super disciplined, making sure they jiggle, keep that attacking side of Orangutan guessing, and keep them uncomfortable in these awkward scenarios where they practically have them pincered from multiple positions and they don't commit to a fight. And that's what RRQ have to continue to do here. Have a hunter and then a killer.
It's such a good 1-2 setup. If you get the 1-2 punch from Orangutan, there's always a spotter and the sniper here from the side of RRQ. Just the elements really, and I'd say the ideologies of these two teams so intricate right now. Orangutan though, they're looking to secure some orbs, find opportunities on the sides of the maps first and foremost.
Operator out once more here, Dax, for Ayumi. They've posted her here towards A, but seems like the B side is what Orangutan want to hit, with a lot of their utility focused towards denying mid pushes and splits towards that mid. I think they're going to have to be playing the retake here towards B instead, and that's never a good situation to be in when you have the up. Luckily, though, if they do plant for long here, Orangutan, maybe then RRQ have a good chance of dismantling that post-plant hold with the Ops.
Well, the first start, though, to this round truly is Alaka with null command. Pulses do prime themselves to try and get the suppressed value on. Cosmic Divide also looking to challenge Orangutan to cross through the noise anyway. Ayumi now silencing the precious. Ayumi with a second over the op. It seems like for RRQ, they have gotten it back into form, into position, in time, and they're catching out the rest of Orangutan to boot. Chloe, though, trying to find the angle beyond the veil of the lockdown, but Iceberg is able to catch her out, and it's 2 rounds now to cap. RRQ still continue with the lead.
And that Cosmic Divide there being placed down by Bess on the defense just made things a lot more difficult to be tradable immediately by Orangutan. Yes, it cuts down that range of engagement that the operator would like to favor in the long sightlines, but it doesn't matter when your operator is poised towards CT and from CT anyways and not holding us back hall. It'll give them much more time to also be able to isolate fights, and that's exactly what we saw there. Yumi eventually goes down, but she found 2 off of it, and that was more than enough for RRQ to win in the defense.
Yeah, and you mentioned it, right? The opportunity there for Orangutan was to go for that B site because RRQ was just so postured towards A. It still was enough time between that null command and that Cosmic Divide. There was that threat from RRQ trying to goad Orangutan to actually get in there. And just because of that small bit of hesitation that we saw, the small bit of repositioning caused by those ultimates, it forced Orangutan to bite the bullet, get in there when RRQ was more prepared.
9-11. Orangutan winning map 1 Ascent the same way we saw them win Ascent on their opening upper bracket match. And RRQ potentially could return the favor and win the map. They also were able to beat Orangutan the last time around on the last time we played a series against each other with this same map veto. Ayumi sticking on that op. They have her towards his B site once more. And I want to see how Orangutan play with that mid control, which we've seen RRQ typically favor to stack their utility for dissuading that.
Yeah, RRQ has challenged the push from mid again and again, and it has affected how Orangutan have taken these rounds. You can see more that they want to play towards that main. An early Cosmic Divide actually cutting the map in half, and they're expecting RRQ to play close. They throw out the flash. Oh, here by Yumi, and this is a shot, unfortunately, but you can use Cosmic Divide now for cover, and an interesting call here from Orangutan, how they play out the
and the Cosmic Divide dissipates right on time as well. That just helped out Ayumi so much tenfold. She went for the flick too. Did not connect, but that's a warning shot.
RRQ finding opportunity in the play of Orangutan instead. Spike now being planted. Zinni survives even. Probably an inch from her own demise. As time now leads to the post plant yet again. RRQ trying to come in from the link area. Best don't now jumping caught out in the middle. Next on the list gonna be Casper too. Backhall's the only position here for Orangutan left. They need to find the takedowns as fast, and Capricious is able to deliver with a 3K. Over onto the corner though, trying to get a bit more of time to isolate these duels, but Navsky will catch her in the act and get the takedown mid dash. It's now map point here for RRQ.
She got the miraculous line up there in the end, but it is over. Entirely through on that retake. RRQ with the advantage and just well composed in those situations. You see there, Aluka, when typically maybe if an anxious player would be in that situation, they just push up into B Hall willy-nilly, but no, they plant themselves here within that CT, her and Bess, to just try and hold down things there and make sure that they can punish the retreat coming in from the plant of Orangutan, and then they go for that back hall control together as a unit. And barring that, once again, miraculous lineup, it would have been even much more cleaner for RRQ.
Yeah, Orangutan, they tried to be a bit creative in how they started the round, but it ended up working out in favor of Ayumi more so. Capricious though, dash on in, triple kill a while ago, making her a bit more even aggressive right now. The flash is coming away, courtesy of Alaka, but Capricious still with the takedown. Perfect opportunity now as they move towards the B site here.
Yeah, good dodge. She anticipated that flash and saw it coming from a mile away. Allowed her to use it to her own advantage. Orangutan, with a team like them, I don't expect they're going to give this one up too easily. They're going to give us at least a few more rounds here to play, potentially try and extend this.
Oh, the fight is there, and they saw Bess over onto her knees, basically. Zinni now throwing that flash There we have a dash in again from Ayumi, trying to make the space here for the side of RRQ. Op still in hand, Orangutan playing by the link and the long areas respectively. You also have Japips ready to help out later on. Besto already going for the defuse. There we have a bit of that intel garnered here by the side of Orangutan. The first to be able to get that takedown, and this might smoke in the way. It's Orangutan with the angles and the kills. 4K here from Capricious. She willed her team to that big site, and she will be rewarded with the round with her squad.
Very perceptive here for Orangutan to go for that plant towards the B-Link instead, knowing that was really the biggest point of control they had. They didn't really have site control in the fullest extent. They didn't really have that B-Halls to their sake, nor B-Long, and so they stick to their guns and played really well on out. And the haunt there, perfect coming from Japeeps. Basic right in front of him, but hey, simplicity, it works out in that case.
Yeah, we mentioned a while ago, they were all by Link. They were just playing with the utility right now to stall for time. And despite the smoke right, Orangutan had all the angles in the world, but this time, Ayumi, eyes on you. Japips, the first to fall. Retreat right now from RRQ. We see this so often. The reposition for the re-engage. Ayumi trying desperately to find the second takedown with RRQ right now. They just want to scare off Orangutan from going to B side here, Black and Blue.
Has to be careful not to be too ambitious in this case. She has a good angle to land another shot, and that she does need some bit of a help from Iceberg, and that she also connects with an Aluka with a flawless at the end of it. RRQ extend this to map 3.
We go to a third map. We see RRQ Kaguya fight yet again. And there is just so much to say about the resiliency of RRQ Kaguya, the way that they adjusted themselves all throughout that map, realized the right speed and the right tools for the job versus Orangutan. Big moments from Orangutan X though, big moments to actually push towards that side. But in the end, it was RRQ Kaguya who kept cool, calm, and knew when to actually fight. We'll throw it down to the panel to break down what happened there on Pearl.
We back in business, baby. Ladies and gents, have we got a series on our hands, and it could not be between two better teams. RRQ fighting tooth and nail to stay in this competition. OGT trying their darndest to close this one out before they run out of steam. Raph, what do you think of that map 2?
Well, I feel like it did expose a bit of a weakness in OGT's attack, and
Your mic, Raph. I
I'm
swear,
scared
this
you
has got to
again.
be a meme by
Okay.
this point.
Okay, I just gotta apologize. My binds are not the same. So, again, let's just get that out of the way. My mistake, guys. Sometimes I do miss my marks, and that's with the simple presses of a keyboard, apparently. But to return to my point, is that the simple breakdown of this, I feel like OGT lacks nuance on their attack. Not power, just the nuance of it. And that's why they're so overtuned to defense. They really want to weather that storm, so they have that cushion going into that second half. Now, I know that sounds crazy, especially when we have Capricious going absolutely demonic with a scoreline like that, or rather a KDA like that. I mean, we did see her nearly bail out the rest of the team, but I feel like as a unit, they still have ways to go on that offensive side.
Yeah, Capricious, man, just absolutely, what do we call that? Demon player in some parts of our server. But pretty much, I mean, my eyes aren't fooling me, right? Like, literally every single map, whether her team win or lose, she's almost always bagging that MVP. But Ayumi as well for RRQ Kaguya. We just can't talk enough about this girl also. And just the just sheer display of skilled jets on this map 2 just makes my heart feel so full, Raph. I can't even tell you, but just the numbers on your screen as well. OGT actually coming up slightly ahead in terms of first kills. Both teams, however, playing that post plant so well. 7-9 for RRQ, 6-7 for Orangutan.
I completely agree with you, but I will stand with my point in that I just feel like OGT ran out of rounds to adjust, and RRQ, knowing how well versed they are with multiple angles of attack, was just a little too much. We're going to be seeing quite a bit of that as we throw it to our highlights. Now, I also kind of want to go back to my point. I know the casters did say it is a bit of a bold claim, but if you really cannot put RRQ to sleep in the first 2 matches of your series, then you are asking for a lot of trouble.
Phew, yeah, I think OGT are starting to feel that heat right about now. Just what an absolutely long day that these girls have had. And there's Ayumi showing off just exactly why she deserves that MVP for map number 2. Iceberg as well, some absolutely crispy shots. I mean, so many girls from both of these teams just came online this map, right? Like Bess as well, we were saying like they've got to start playing like more as a team and not just as those individual players. But boy, were those individual players so nice to watch. I mean, Casper as well, a couple of clutch situations here and there, and then Japeeps 1v3 clutch on that pistol to set that tone for that second half. I mean, this was a bonkers map too, and I just absolutely love every second of that. Of course, MVP is gonna go over to Ayumi on that jet. Just, whew. I'm just so hyped. I can't believe
I can tell.
that we are lucky enough. Like, we've got another map of this. Come on.
Oh dear. That is true. And Ayumi has posed so many problems on OGT. And with the way the things have been going, again, now it seems that stamina issue that you brought up earlier on in the day is starting to creep up on the side of OGT, whereas RRQ, they are cooking. They are looking to be mean as all hell. And my goodness, what else do we have to say about this? It has been super exciting.
Yeah, I mean, RRQ not just cooking, they making a full meal. They making dinner for all of us right here at 6:30. It's about time for us to go eat, and we're eating pretty tonight, guys. We about to find out which of these two teams will join Team SMG in tomorrow's grand final. But before we do that, grab some popcorn because these girls are gonna put on a show.
Coming off the bench now. Waiting for this moment, swinging for the fence now. Coming off the bench now. Gotta get up, cause we about to get down. Coming off the bench now. Waiting for this moment, swinging for the fence now. Coming off the bench now. Gotta get up, cause we about to get down. We wanna get it crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a get it crunk with a couple hundred thugs. Crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a get it crunk with a couple hundred thugs. Everybody round, everybody round, everybody round, everybody round here. Everybody round, everybody round here. Know we getting hype. Everybody round, everybody round, everybody round, everybody round, everybody round here. Know we getting hype. wanna get it crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a get it crunk with a couple hundred thugs. Crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a get it crunk with a couple hundred thugs. Everybody round, everybody round, everybody round, everybody round here. Everybody round, everybody round here. Know we getting hype. Everybody round, everybody round, everybody round, everybody round, everybody round here. Know we getting hype.
Well, guys, I hope you went and grabbed a snack because we're in for a doozy of a last map to close out day 4 of the VCT Game Changers APAC Series 2023 Open number 1. Map 3, it's going to be Lotus. It's gonna be good, and I can't wait for us to hop into game. Raph, what are we thinking? Are we seeing like that little pendulum swinging back into RRQ's favor? How do we feel?
I will agree with the pendulum swinging in the favor of RRQ because Lotus at the moment, infamous for being a super attacker-sided map. But, oh, actually, no, another thing is that this is a map that OGT recently lost against this very team. So once again, if we really look at the history, it really does not favor Orangutan as of the moment. But we've had a bit of a break since we've seen these two stack up on Lotus. Now the question is, was that enough for OGT to innovate and find some sort of way to destroy the guard of RRQ Kaguya? But again, it is a testament of how resilient OGT is. They have been playing all day for like what, the last few days now. So with that in mind, RRQ Kaguya want to maximize their impact with a potentially wounded Orangutan.
Yeah, I mean, this is their 4th straight day of playing those series, and today already it's just a back-to-back best of 3. But I'm super hyped that we're going to finally see Lotus, because earlier today, you know, Series 1, Series 2 kind of went 2-0, even though like the deciders on map 3 were Lotus. So I've been feeling a bit like I want to see Lotus again today, right? So since it's been a while, you know, Raph, what are your predictions for maybe some of the agents or some of the compositions that we'll see?
Honestly, anything as long as OGT avoid that Yoru. I feel like that was a heavily underutilized pick on their part. Again, Yoru not necessarily a bad agent. It's just I feel like it's one of the more difficult ones to find the most impacted because it does require quite a bit of repetition to do it. Again, not a very conventional duelist where you want to take everything standing up and duel from the, I guess, the front of everything. Just have a straight up fight. Or rather, again, with that agent pick, you have to utilize deception and just pulling the wool over the eyes of your opposition, and OGT just did not have that.
Yeah, and just talking about just the types of strategies and stuff, right? Because both these teams, at the end of day 4 right now, at this point, they've got to be all out of strats, right? But we are going to find out in this absolutely crucial map number 3. Dax and Blue, all ears on you.
Yeah, thank you to you too, Ray Richu. Wow, the poetry in motion. But I have to say something here, my friend. Repetition in the rematch. This is going to be a third map in this series yet again. We've seen in this tournament for the third time. We will get Lotus in one more bout. And this is the final map of the lower bracket finals. My name is Daxter with Black and Blue. And I think Raph mentioned it while we were getting ready for the game in the Agent Select. No more Yoru this time. We're actually going to get a Jet here from Capricious. And we've seen her form absolutely potent from that last map. Will that adjustment be enough for Orangutan to beat RRQ?
I think so. I really like this change up here now coming from her. We saw just a lot of very, I guess, in and out plays that are enabled a bit more by that Jet at an instant. And so for them to swap on over to this could give them much more benefit. They pull out the Astra here as well, which last time we saw Zinni be playing on, you know, that when it comes to maps like Fracture, but this time around she's on that Breach with Casper being that smoker in this case. I'm just very curious to see how Orangutan continue to play now that they're the ones who have been throwing the map in their face.
Yeah, it was a bit creative a while back for Orangutan to play Yoru of all things on a map like this, but it's just really the stability right now of running that Jet, and especially how Capricious has been playing all throughout this day. Speaking of, though, leads the charge. Best now with the paranoia to try and stall for time. Wait for it, though, and Capricious actually gonna get the takedown in that standoff. Zinni also with a frag of her own. Steeside now taken here by Orangutan.
Yeah, by force as well. They take the man advantage as well. On the flank here comes on in every single player from RRQ. Not really playing it slow, so they've given their position away. They've given their control of the situation and their element of surprise.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, Casper, though, with her friendly ghost, finds 2 immediately, and Chloe's there to receive from the top even. Orangutan, the direct approach seems to be the best approach. Already you can see the shift of momentum with the speed.
Wow, what a moment there. Spectacular adventure that she's able to bring. But for the meantime, that element of surprise once more. It could have been what they needed for that flank opportunity, because you can see unaware there on the attacking side, the Orangutan were of the flank up until it all just came barreling down. And we'll talk about this Yoru pick that we saw from the past again from Capricious and how it can be a liability on the defensive side. But I'm looking to see if maybe now that they have a Jet onto this, when they swap on over to the second half for Orangutan, if that will give them a bit more benefit than what we were seeing earlier on.
It feels like for Orangutan moving forward, it's a bit more textbook. And when you talk about our Kaguya, they have ways to stall in the raise and in the breach especially. You know that Omen Paranoia is always good for angles here on a map like this, but bested now by Casper. Orangutan with the clear gun advantage, yet again going for the same kind of execute. Waterfall also covered now with the aftershock, and it's Orangutan prepared for the post plant yet again.
See RRQ really pulling out with this round. Capricious. It's another here for the Orangutan side. Look at how Nabsky has to fall all the way back, knowing how low HP she has. They're all just fishing for a kill at this point with the shorty. I think that's going to come too soon.
Yeah, Orangutans, they're just so perfectly primed for the seed taking, and also notice that they always have the flank covered there with Chloe, but the rest of the team happy to play towards that side, happy to really clear out things like waterfall as possible, and dissuade RRQ from rushing in response. It's already some good control established here by Orangutan, and they'll make it 2-0 now.
Well, so far, Dax, in this series, the 2 maps we have seen played, Ascent and Lotus, were won by the teams who won that previous map against each other in the past, in the previous series in the upper bracket. And so now Lotus, we've seen RRQ win this map against Orangutan the last time around here in the tournament. They're looking to replicate that, but the question is, does the pattern continue, or do we finally break the bounds?
Mate, you always look at these cards right now like that. Just there's some extra meaning in the patterns. But the meaning I'm looking for here from RRQ Kaguya is how they're gonna stabilize as soon as Orangutan goes for that hard hit. Do they just move for the post plant now that they have the guns? Do they anticipate the push? Seems like that was a call towards the dugout area, but at the same time, already B-side taken here by Orangutan. Nabsky watching the transit aftershock yet again to hold them off.
And isn't this replicant of what we saw a while ago, right? On both of the maps, they love to overrun the site. They love to just completely have so much pressure and so much this presence that they simply force RRQ to back on off. And RRQ, they're facing another difficult situation here with two of them going down.
Ah, that's has to hurt for Best. Casper catching out her in the cross. Capricious already playing towards Link. We saw RQ that contested that mound area earlier on. No dice. Instead, now it's Snake Eyes as Casper has a lock onto them. 3 takedowns for the Astra, and it's 3-0 as Orangutan wins the bonus.
My goodness, just a complete tank in the way they play here, Orangutan. Always love to swarm that site and just give no real chance for breath to be taken towards RRQ. And they played that bonus perfectly. They knew they had the weapons disadvantage. They knew they had SMGs, and they have to play up that pace, so they simply just completely rush the site. Much to akin of what you'd see on a map like Haven, they opt for the close range site on B in between all of it.
And it's such a strong call to just go through the center. They avoided that mount action here. You can see RRQ, they have the tools to contest this small elevated area. But as soon as they see presence here from Orangutan, look at how they're rotating in black and blue. They move towards A main. They know they can get that space, especially with the jet at the very advanced. Capricious priming his dash already, looking to push. Ayumi though, hit by the flash and just knocked out by Capricious. Orangutan already on the site yet again.
Well, it's an eager round here for RRQ. Not too hopeful of this case just yet. It's been Orangutan, if anything, to have been a bit more potent on these type of eco rounds if they're ever put to it. But yeah, just to hold the grasp here once more from Orangutan. It's so firm.
One enemy
wouldn't
remaining.
even be out of the question, if anything, for RRQ to call a timeout right after this.
So reminiscent to what Team SMG did against Sapphire. When you play a map like Lotus, man, and you're not prepared for these hard hits, it's just so overwhelming. That distance compared to something like Haven, it's a little less than you'd expect. The extra steps Orangutan are able to take away from RRQ really throws in for the loop the utility setup that they want to. And I noticed also the all-ins there from RRQ to play on the other side of the map. They just don't have enough in the tank left as soon as Orangutan already rotates so quickly.
Well, we were wondering, you know, if Orangutan, being the team that played the very previous series right before this, if they're going to have enough gas in the tank to fully outlast a full best of 3. And Raph brought this up a while ago on the panel throughout the day that RRQ, they never lose a series if it goes the distance, if it goes, 3 maps. It's only ever 2-0. But we talked about patterns being broken in Orangutan. They want to change the shade of this one.
I mean, Orangutan wants revenge in RRQ Kaguya. Losing to the Swiss stage had to hurt. Losing in the upper semifinals was painful for them too because they got so close. But now this is their time to book themselves back up to the grand finals to prove that this roster, that this setup absolutely works. And as of now, the way that they're playing, it just feels so precise and sharp. RRQ Kaguya, good timeout called right now. They have the guns and they need to rethink how they're gonna re-engage Orangutan if ever.
Let's not forget, it's a one-way ticket to that grand final. Either you're in or you're completely out of it. In RRQ, they have yet to deliver in that same stead. Here comes an out to push once more. Orangutan taking quick control of the pillars. And even if they don't overrun the B site, they still have so much. But no, they still want to go for it. Capricious, no holds barred. Simply no care in the world. No caution thrown to the wind. Gets taken down before the launch.
But RRQ now with the numbers and now with the angles. They're sticking around towards the side of still finding Alaka. And all of this does get scanned on out. Navsky will take an opportunity through the smoke anyway. Chloe though, maybe caught in the crossfire. There we go with a bow and arrow and the need to. Throwable, sure. But in the end, Ayumi will be able to shoot her down. And RRQ finally finding order amidst all the chaos.
To find that order, to find a bit more focus here in such a scrambled situation. That's what RRQ need to be able to mitigate and achieve once more. We saw this happen early on, a while ago on Pearl, where Orangutan are just simply pretty good at making sure that RRQ are sent into a scrambled phase, that they're not sure how to, recuperate things. But The fact that RRQ finally find that and adjust into it this time, kind of just rattling themselves into these positions, that's what they need to continue to do.
And Rubble now contested. I do like the fact though, when RRQ takes a timeout, you can see the difference. You can see it's at the reset. It's such a serious juncture for them to just make sure that they're not getting overrun by Orangutan. And speaking of, here we go again. Capricious now clearing out towards the doorway. Aftershock, one more instance. Case in point for Orangutan. Makes the space towards the side. Alaka though, over onto the corner. Silence deafening. And now Capricious gonna get hit by the backstab. Chloe though with the takedown. It's 4v4. And the rush down from RRQ to try and secure the retake. Jafip's still peeking from the corner yet again. And it's a straight for trade right now. Chloe looking for the test though. And the lockdown's even there. Look at the Orangutan's position right now. They're playing away the double up though from RRQ to try and hunt down Jafips. She will fall. It's all left to Chloe now in a 1v2 from upper. The high ground. The best ground. Ayumi there on the other corner. Iceberg waiting for opportunity. Ayumi's the one challenging here. And as time ticks, it's Ayumi who'll get the takedown. RRQ running around everywhere on that B side to get this round going their way.
She bought herself some time there in the end, Chloe. But ultimately enough, it's RRQ who are able to overrun that position there, being held towards a pillar and gaining them the space that they needed to wait it out. They had some time to play with, and they knew how to use those cards. RRQ doing a really good job here of once again mitigating the chaos that Orangutan love to ensue.
I like the business that Orangutan is trying to preach here right now. You have to go every single angle as much as possible to just catch out anyone from Orangutan. But the thing about Lotus, we mentioned a while ago too, short distance, RRQ clearing together and finding ways to find the angles before it gets too deadly.
Look at this, Dax. This is like the 4th round in a row they're choosing to go
Let's
B.
go! Let's go B! I love the chaos! I love this right now from Orangutan. It's like a jungle gym waiting to happen. School's out though, and Capricious ready to lead the charge yet again. Rolling Thunder gonna be the call. Alaka finds the timing again and again. Repetition is key, and Alaka will be the key to that victory. Hunter's Fury lobbed out here by RRQ. Casper now working together with Japips, but Ayumi already has the angle. It's claustrophobic here for Orangutan. Japips tried to open the door to destiny. Perhaps a new hope to stay alive here by the mound, but in the end it's RRQ hunting her down. Already RRQ sniffing out where Orangutan's going.
A flawless here coming from RRQ. And seems like maybe this time Orangutan are going to learn their lesson. 3rd time's a charm, they thought. You know, I get the reasoning there why they went for B. The 2 rounds that they did lose going towards that B site right prior, they still got the spike planted down. It came really close, so they thought, hey, it's not necessarily not working. Let's try it out again. But RRQ, they've adjusted at this point. And once more, Alaka, same as we saw there during round 6 and then 7, she's the first one to, as you said, exploit those angles, go all the way, and rat herself into a position to catch off the attacking side here. And when you're the breach and you have that capability, it's maybe not optimal, but a player like her, she can make it work out anyways.
It just got better and better every single round. Like you could see the upgrade, version 1. B-side hole, version 2, version 3 acclimated with the Rolling Thunder, and those are the adjustments RRQ are able to take away with a single timeout. Orangutan though, now they have to rethink their plans. You can feel the presence and the pressure that they apply, but RRQ, they've found the remedies for it, and Orangutan needs to think of something else if they're gonna go for the B-side yet again, especially.
Yeah, maybe give them a different idea.
Yeah.
At this point, it's not even just telegraphing. It's more like outright directing. Yeah, this is what I'm doing. Just to let you know.
Well, the direct approach sometimes is the most effective, as some of our colleagues would like to say. But just doing it isn't gonna be good enough right now. Orangutan, though, I like already the change of pace. They're looking to now seek out what they can get towards these main angles, especially. Catch out any vision there from RRQ. But RRQ also holding back towards staircase instead.
And perhaps that's going to give them what they need right in this case. Give them a different look. Orangutan need to diversify their approach. That they finally learn. Leave that alarm bot in case any B pushes come from RRQ's defense. And they make the initial noise outside of A rubble here. But RRQ just aren't sold on it. They return back in anticipating another B push.
Well, Alaka knows something's up, and Capricious now spotted. She's able to jiggle her way back to safety though. And now with the fault line, should dissuade the first push of Orangutan. Capricious though, no fear whatsoever. Trying to at the very least use that can win value. Now the Nanswarm in the way. Chloe to take down the showstopper is the answer from you and me. If you feel there's presence, why not just lob a nade, lob the showstopper? But Chloe throwing it for a loop with a 3K of her own. Eventually, Orangutan able to bust through those defenses and make it happen towards that B side. Sydney finding Navsky too. It's all left to Icebergs in the 1v3 scenario. Upper angle yet again, but the angles here for Orangutan are just perfectly placed. A triple peek at the works. The crossfire is set, and as soon as Iceberg slowly creeps into it, she gets the one, but that's all she gets. Orangutan now with a handful.
That shouldn't have worked out for Orangutan in that case. RRQ were ready. They're anticipating it. They threw out the fault line. They knew the fact that Capricious went that deep. And she was punished on that too as well there with the showstopper. But then just the willingness to push the envelope, to press the issue, and to extend the boundaries and draw the lines. That's where Orangutan have an edge. You see Chloe push up that far, and RRQ didn't think there'd be someone there again with all that utility raining.
Yeah, that's the thing. Chloe said no. No, we are not stopping this. No, we are not gonna let this go despite losing Capricious to the showstopper. That willingness, that eagerness, and the fight right now from Orangutan. You can feel the heart of these ladies absolutely blazing. And it's one of the biggest reasons right now
there.
they have willed themselves to this position in the top 3 here, Black and Blue. Already the fight is strong here from Orangutan. RRQ, yet again, looking to find order amidst all this chaos that Orangutan has been preaching.
It's the no mix-up once more. No way they do the spin move 4 times in a row. No way they go for the same site, right? Keeping them almost guessing at nothing. And Orangutan playing with the expectations and real conditioning of RRQ.
Oh, but now he's prepared on the bend this time. They expected the push from Capricious the same way. Alec is there too. And look at the doorway play here from RRQ. But Orangutan punished it apparently. Despite the open in position. Leads to a 3v3. And Casper so close to picking that up. The lockdown is dead to fall here for the stall. And they really have it now. Contesting them out. There's the intel. RRQ have to back away.
That was a lovely scan here coming out from RRQ. Iceberg got every single player on that scan, so information certainly gathered. They can be sure to hold this down, and Alika once more loving to try and dip into those fights. They gained the man advantage.
Yeah, they didn't expect that for Orangutan. They caught a detain, I believe, and that could have been their advantage. Instead, now RRQ 1 up here on the ladies. 3v2 scenario, scanning again, gives the value, but Iceberg through the waterfall will cascade with the kills of the rest of RRQ. 4-5, close game yet again.
You can trust my boss.
RRQ respond, retaliate in return. Orangutan, great look though, still so far. Even after that round, you're looking at things here in Orangutan. Even when they go for those awkward scenarios, they're so ready to trade. And when we saw that door open, they still had 2 in return in response.
I was so surprised that Orangutan actually got better because of that whole play. That was the perfect opportunity for RRQ to make the pinch work, but Orangutan, just that instinct to still make the trades happen. In the end though, RRQ Kaguya, stability is the key. See it yet again, positioned right now here by the rubble. Ayumi using that blast back to get up top. Capricious burning the dash early now because of it. And Orangutan looking to punish this committed position from RRQ instead.
He's still sticking here. No fear in the heart of Ayumi at all. And even with that, not flushed out by Orangutan, sends him rotating potentially. Or just at least waiting for a push here from that RRQ side. They have some sort of mid-lurk here towards B, but you're not giving up just yet.
Now John gets the scan though, and RRQ at the very least still keeping Orangutan at bay, but Ayumi, she's still here. She's not gonna let this go. And can she get away with it? That's the question. Does Orangutan know that she's still stuck around by rubble? The jiggle peaks. And now we have Ziddy trying to prep up the fault line. The punish is through, but Capricious will fall to the height of the Iceberg. It's stall right now here from RRQ. Japan finally gonna get the takedown, but Icebergs coming up big to get 2 of her own. 3v3 after everything is said and done though, and such a big contest towards main itself.
It does buy them time though, so even though she doesn't get a kill, great value because it allowed Iceberg to get those 2 in that. And that is certainly going to help them out in this bout. Here comes on out the lockdown. Puts Orangutan in a very delicate spot. Do they go for the plant right now? Or do they wait it out? They don't have much time at least to worry, to kind of waste here. So they do get the spike down plant early, but they have to retreat. They have to run. Otherwise, the detained connects on the 2.
only Casper who gets away from the Rages itself. And now Alaka trying to clear things out. Hands up here for Orangutan. Casper looking to even charge though. Ready with the gun, but Best is prepared even more so. RRQ will steal this fight away, take their lives too. And the stall that you mentioned, Paramount's time on the side of RRQ.
Yeah, that's so desperate in those situations. You have, what, like 16 seconds left, or maybe 20 actually, when they place that lockdown, cutting you to just extremely close margins. And you're proposed with a difficult scenario. Do you wait for that lockdown to expire and then just run on in with maybe 7 seconds to get the plant down? Certainly not. So now you're forced to plant and then immediately retreat. And they had to do it just a few seconds earlier, and maybe they could have gotten out of the radius.
Yeah, it was such a awkward scenario for Orangutan because you take a while to open that door, especially Casper had to effectively get out first and foremost just to stand a chance. Orangutan though on the lesser by RRQ, a fade away here from Iceberg even. Capricious goes down, Iceberg coming up again here towards the link area, 3-4 to Soba, and with Alaka there, ready through the smoke even. It's just so much covering fire, suppressing fire from RRQ. They wipe out Orangutan in the blink of an eye.
Alright, good warm-up there for Iceberg against the Eco, for sure, especially with the fadeaway. When you hit the fadeaway, of course the spin ain't too much of a problem. Of course the sidestep ain't that much of an issue, but not much could be done there in the situation by Orangutan.
It's beautiful to see there for RRQ Kaguya, that's for sure. They've had so much strength towards A main because of Iceberg and all of the antics from Alaka and Ayumi. Orangutan though, that was their lesser buy. Perhaps here we go again, Black and Blue. They have the Rolling Thunder, they have the Hunter's Fury, but they're playing it slow towards lobby yet again, trying to anticipate any rubble push from RRQ's side.
Well, this time Orangutan, they have a bit more utility to try and go for this rubble push. Hunter's Fury and Rolling Thunder on either side here for both of them to pop. The only question is which one comes first. Assuredly the attacking side. Orangutan looking to take that space.
Yeah, Orangutan. They decide to pop that Rolling Thunder towards the top side, give the high ground here to Capricious, and that is just the best heaven on this earth for her. Easy pick onto Best, caught mid-transit. Turret now being stationed. Staircase gonna be the hold here for RRQ. Hunter's Fury though with the Rolling Thunder now. Gonna be the call here from the defense. Now she's gonna be able to get that takedown. Ayumi also on the push itself. And Ayumi, look at that lurk. Look at that off angle. Perfect opportunity here for the side of RRQ. Casper now left alone in a 1v4 scenario. But this 3 not gonna be any kind of degree of safety. Navsky's already on the defuse. And RRQ corner Orangutan in the end to get the advantage for the half.
And what was even better about that flanker from Ayumi is that even if she only found maybe 1 kill on Zinni, it would have made it so that Japeeps wouldn't be able to use the Hunter's Fury because of her mere presence there towards that bottom rubble for the post plant. But enough of me, more of the panel. Raph and Jenny, how you guys doing?
We're doing great, guys. Just happy to be here, happy to watch these games, and just the absolute tenacity that these girls are showing. So back and forth, both teams, they've got to be running on pretty much willpower by now. Raph, walk me through that first half.
Oh, I will say it with, I guess, full confidence, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I honestly felt like if RRQ, or rather OGT, do not get more than 6 rounds, they lose the game. Because we have seen RRQ just have that adjustment speed that OGT is really lacking, in my opinion. And we saw that too in their last match. They went 6-6 with that Yoru. They tried to go for a lot more maneuverability, but that didn't work out, even when they got that side swap. Now they have the Jet that's a little more, I would say, bold and a little more direct. It's still kind of not working out. Again, OGT, they're a very, very defensive team, and we've talked about how overtuned they are. But if there are 2 rounds that I would really like to highlight, it's round 8 and round 9. First, round 8 was RRQ's pivot point. This is where OGT had to win that raw 50-50, because no matter how good you are, an honest guessing game will keep you on your toes, and so they did. But round 9 onwards is where Iceberg and Nabsky prove they're the ultimate duo to make the right call. And in my notes, if OGT doesn't get at least 7, then I am very, very fearful of what might happen. That cushion is just completely absent now.
Phew. I mean, we have seen that OGT is, as you mentioned time and again, right, that bit of a more defensive team, which works to RRQ's favor, right? Because RRQ don't necessarily need to go aggressive. They just need to kind of wait for OGT to make those mistakes, and that will be their way to win this game. But you guys heard it here from Ralph first, right? That OGT needed to get 6 to take map 3. They've only got 5 in the first half. Bit of a bold prediction, but we about to find out if that's gonna come true. Dax and Blue, that's your cue.
She's doing it again.
I'm gonna say it. Thank you to you too. Oh, we'll see you soon. I don't know. I'm not a poet like her, but the thing is, there were some high standards put by the panel and some certain pivot points that Raph especially mentioned. And I do agree. There was just that tide-turning position from RRQ. The fact that they were able to get that momentum and force Orangutan to play a different style there on the attacking side. It allowed them to get the advantage in that 4-round streak at the very end. This time, though, it's gonna be RRQ on the attacking side here, Black and Blue, and I do wonder how Orangutan will try to play the aggression. Already main looking to be contested.
See if this contest will work on out here, coming on through the end of it. At the opening start, though, Iceberg, good catch off of that stun, and Japape somehow finds fishes a kill off of the shock dart.
Wow, out of nowhere, marksmanship even. Give her a gold medal for archery after that one. But then again, RRQ's still expecting Orangutan to play in similar traits that we've seen from them, especially in the past few series. Play for that space, play aggressively, especially since it's the map that suits it. Casper through the door, gets Navsky though, making the trade work yet again. At least RRQ mitigating these losses. They round the bend right now. They do get hit by the flash though of Zinni. Chloe though, creeping on in. Navsky finds that takedown, and RRQ, they're just finding these small little opportunities, small little angles to get these kills. 3 for Navsky. Japip's in a 1v2 spot here.
Well, we've seen her in this spot during Pearl, and she was able to deliver! Connects a shot on the Nabsky. The plant, it should go down here for Mayumi to give her a bit more breathing space. She has to be careful of this duel. We know Japape's always so potent, always so reliable in these situations. Ayumi has the high ground though, and that is a deadly point. Swings, connects, and RRQ take the pistol.
Yeah, Japips may be a showwoman, but then again, Japips was the audience that paid for it, or rather the side of RRQ. Draw the red curtain there at the very end. The pistol works out for the attacking side, and it was just Orangutan trying to make those kind of plays, trying to find those pickoffs, but there was always an answer from RRQ every single angle, especially there at the end for Ayumi. Enough was enough for RRQ to slowly but surely get that win.
Well, that's the important part. Slow, but secure. And assuredly, RRQ, on this attacking side of theirs, this is where we've seen them dominate in the past. We saw that on Pearl, that their biggest problem on the first half, when on the defensive, is just mitigating the pushes of Orangutan, but when they're the attack, they can choose the fights, they can slow the pace down to a more comfortable position, and have a bit more palatable experience of this half.
Yeah, all roads lead to where RRQ is stationed. That's what Orangutan is trying to exploit right now. But then again, if you're just holding back like this, for the side of RRQ, some strong discipline to understand in the map like Lotus forward, over onto the corner. Chloe tries to get the takedown instead. Japips able to clean up Iceberg, but that's pretty much it in terms of the frags there. 4v2. Marshall may matter for the hands of Capricious, but beyond that, it's already RRQ with the plant down.
Right there.
Orangutan, maybe they can fish a kill here off of Capricious. Got a license with her, especially if you can land a shot in this case. Marshall rings on out. They know both of them are here now. That Zinni lets herself be known. But RRQ, for the meantime, all they have, well, we have a bit of time to talk about. It's never necessarily, you know, closing out games that have been a problem. A lot of times we just see when a big deficit is proposed, that's when they struggle. But when they have a lead like this, they're typically able to close out pretty successfully.
The adjustments, especially mid-rounds and mid-game, one of the strongest suits here for RRQ. Them being at a good advantage right now, 4 rounds to cap, it gives them even more so a buffer moving forward. On the other side though, I look at the Orangutan, and this has to be the round that they get value of it. The rifles are out. We've seen what happens when you give a rifle a Vandal here, especially to the hands of Capricious. She's just so potent to give that bit of boost here from Orangutan, and I think just momentum necessary for the defense to get away with around here.
Well, you talked about RRQ, you know, throughout those opening maps a while ago, being more well-rounded. Yes, okay. Maybe they're a bit more generalist, have many different diverse looks when it comes to the game. And Orangutan, they're specialists. They're specialists of that hard-hit style. And the question is, what is more effective in this case, and what can be played to a better extent?
Seems like the two words to talk about when you look at Orangutan is space-taking, perhaps action-making, you could say that as well. Capricious, though, unable to confirm that kill, unfortunately, towards Napki. And RRQ moving over to that seaside. The plant already going. Chloe, though, up top here by the hallway. Finds the angle towards Ayumi. No one there actually for the trade, so opportunity right now for Orangutan to try and play towards the site itself. But you can see her here for RRQ. They move over to the mount instead. Perhaps from Alaka, as you mentioned, Rolling Thunder can be crucial. Canceling the first defuse. Chloe, though, with another takedown. And Orangutan now cleaning up nicely. But Alaka finds the 2 for herself. A chance still courtesy for Alaka. But Zinni's gonna be there to get that takedown onto 1. 3 for Alaka. Classic is all she has left in the bank. And eventually, Orangutan will be able to deposit a round in their scoreline.
Good attempt there by RRQ, but Orangutan able to find, especially here, Chloe, able to find the position to not be tagged up by that, and just allow them to be ready for the inevitable push coming in from that main. It certainly was a great attempt. Could have been a bit cleaner, but still, I don't think it's too much lost. Yes, they burned the Rolling Thunder, but she's already halfway through it after the end of that round.
It was a triple plus her death, and immediately RRQ, they have the tools to work with. But you mentioned it, Orangutan, it was costly, but they needed it in terms of that momentum, in terms of having at least still some rifles in hand. Besto, teleport immediately towards Rubble. Does Orangutan know this is coming? No, they don't. Eventually, though, Japip spots it at the corner of her eye. Neither side can get the confirmation. Orangutan will disengage instead.
Oh, that was a opportunity given away here. His best could not connect or line things up.
Cover going out.
But look at the buy from Orangutan. A Bulldog, 2 Spectres. Not the most formidable options to fight with.
They still want to fight, that's for sure. Our power is so essential, especially at how RRQ are taking these sites bit by bit. Now then, towards the link, the flash comes, Capricious caught out, and Iceberg!
Okay.
That got a little dicey, but she got the takedown anyway. RRQ keeping calm, cool, collected, moving towards that B site. That's 2 already for the troubles. Best even finding Zinni, and yet again, a strong push here from RRQ.
Spike planted.
Well, Chloe, oh my goodness, what a response! A double for her. Suddenly made this round a lot more winnable. If he wins this fight, that's gonna be big, but it doesn't. Iceberg and Best shut them down. And RRQ, they're starting to run away with this game, Dax.
Yeah, this is the Alter Ego Celeste form that came from last year. This is the pedigree in action, and the way that they're catching out Orangutan by mere split seconds really proves how precise their executes have been so far. Opportunities trying to be made. There's still always that clutch potential from Orangutan, don't get me wrong. You can see moments being willed by players like Chloe, especially in this map. But if RRQ is just this well-oiled right now, it can be a problem in terms of consistency.
RRQ, they're the ones so far who has found the base level of where that consistency can lie on. Looking pretty good so far on this attacking side. And as I said, you know, it's RRQ who have the benefit of closing out on that second half on this attacking side. The favorite side by far here on Lotus. And it's also the better side of RRQ in general. Orangutan, they're going to have to try and maybe cut into the economy. That's their only real chance in this round moving forward.
And the glimmer of hope here must be Chloe. She has the stinger in hand on the site itself. Made multi-kills happen before. To detriment of the opposition, but RRQ, different plan here. They go through the doorway, wall slide towards the tree area, but Japips avoids the stun, and a shocker towards Iceberg. Stellar shot with the Sheriff to get that takedown. Paranoia now gonna be the play, looking to flush out whoever is here for Orangutan, but Japips with another one! Magic being made here with the Sheriff so far. Can RRQ actually push, though? That's the question. Chloe will get one for her troubles, and now the numbers pile up in favor of Orangutan. What was that magic that we saw there from Japips? It's 3v1 now. Nabsky all alone. Spike there, away towards the doorway. The Owl Drone gets the intel. Capricious running out in the open, and Japips gets the third even. The Thrifty from Orangutan keep them alive. And what was that from Japips overall?
My goodness. Orangutan keeping the ball rolling here. Not giving it up when they needed to the most. And as I was talking about a while ago in the first half, it's typically Orangutan that you see be a bit more potent, a bit more deadly, and really that you have to fear when it comes to these thrifty rounds. They're one of the best teams in this circuit to do so.
Oh, man. Look, Japips has been stellar all throughout the tournament, and she's been one of the most entertaining players with the knives, but those share shots, they will ring through for today. If Orangutan make this comeback happen, that is the one moment to watch out for. The way that they're just so stable despite the pressure of RRQ. We talked about it in the prior maps, even the prior series, that Orangutan is the team to fear for in terms of those thrifty states, and they do it yet again versus RRQ Kaguya.
Well, those moments when the thrifties come on out is when Orangutan know even more so to play to their strengths, to try and isolate those moments and simply just keep RRQ on their toes. That's why they're able to deliver in those moments. They've got lockdowns and the Hunter's Fury on either side. But the Rolling Thunder is what separates them in terms of coming into this round, at least for now, because Alka is at the cusp of it.
And because of that last round for Orangutan, now they have a small advantage in terms of the economy. They have the arsenal to fight with, and if they beat RRQ yet again into this round here, RRQ is going to be forced to go for the eco. So the swing, the pendulum, looking to strike perhaps in favor of Orangutan until Capricious gets caught out there by Best. The fault line going out there by Zinni, too late to help on out. Ayumi sent with the clear, and this is just looking pretty crystal here for RRQ. Set them up, knocking down, move on over towards the doorway. The transit towards C. To be a little too hasty already.
Well, it's a 5v2. So even with Orangutan's heroics, I'm not too sure about this one. Chloe left on her lonesome in the 1v5. And RRQ once more gaining a firm hold on the round. That's 11-7. And Orangutan once more in a difficult spot.
The roar of Orangutan, heard in the round prior, silenced immediately by RRQ Kaguya. And it just was Ayumi knocking them down like dominoes again and again. Just the peaks, the clears, incredible enough from RRQ. And this is the form that we always expect from a roster like this, from a star-studded lineup. The baseline still there, and now the results almost in reach. All the ultimates online here for RRQ. Orangutan though will fight back with an operator.
Off out for Capricious. This has to be their stopping point. This has to be the hurdle for RRQ to get stuck on. And Orangutan, they give up their card early here. They now know that the operator is available. Capricious, you can see she wants to go for it, cannot connect the shot.
Just stay away from it. The Essential Stopper now gonna get primed, doesn't get connection. Casper instead finds control with Gravity Well, and Ayumi gonna get caught in the vortex of that. Rolling Thunder now the call. Here we have it from Orangutan, and Capricious buying herself enough space to catch out Alaka. Avoids the paranoia too. Numbers now dwindling in the favor of the side of RRQ. It's the Orangutan making it 4v2 instead. Zinni now and the rest of the crew from the waterfall even. Capricious trying to scope on in. Best goes down to the hand of Chloe, and Chloe not just once but twice gonna be nice enough to get close there. Orangutan win out that defense.
11-8. Orangutan still do not concede. And just the positioning here that they're able to use to their strengths when the flood comes on in for RRQ. Well, if you're Orangutan and knowing that's your type of game style as well, to overwhelm the defense, then you damn well should know how to play against it, and that they did.
Just whenever RRQ tries to put this game out of reach, Orangutan has the answer. The scoreline is getting perilous, sure, but you can feel round for round, the heart is still there here from Orangutan, and that's the beauty of this game right now. Unstoppable force versus an immovable object, but there's no moving here, Navsky, as Capricious has you in her sights. Stellar play though from Orangutan to begin with. RRQ holding back towards the lobby instead.
Good pick here to be found by Orangutan, and that they did. They have so much ultimates to throw coming into this round. The Seaside hit wants to come in once more, but that turret's gonna alarm them to it. The angle's still found by Best, and that's the opening they needed.
11 HP even despite the Nano Swarm. And you mentioned it, crucial, critical juncture now to play towards that C site, especially Hunter's Fury, though the call from afar. And Tinja Pips actually find her target. Gets a tag, I believe, and gets the sap onto Ayumi. Critical damage done. Here we go yet again. Casper finding a bit of the Achilles heel too. 4v2 now. That's a test towards hallway. The aggression there from Alcan Iceberg. Tried to save the day, but the blades are out. Here comes Capricious, ready to just make you a porcupine. It spikes out, and it'll be shots fired here by Japips. Orangutan, defuse and defend again.
Wow, Orangutan continuing this. This could go the distance, Dax. And now RRQ in a difficult state economically. We could be seeing Orangutan tying this game up very soon.
I think I have to ask you this question. How is Orangutan doing it at Black and Blue? They just make miracles happen again and again. And it's that proactivity that I always see from them that allows them these opportunities.
Well, you're seeing here RRQ wanting to press the issue, right? Wanting to push that pace. And it's typically Orangutan we've seen be that type of team. And RRQ be the one on the flip end to try and get the catch, to try and get the punish. But this time, they're reading the opposition, knowing that that's to come. They play back there towards that CT, and you see it. They had the fault line prepped for that push.
Orangutan manipulating the map in manners that they want to. RRQ now on the thrifty state themselves. This is confidence about from Orangutan as they move towards Rubble with the operator in hand. Yeah, Pico, yes we do, and Navsky will be punished for it. Good start here for Orangutan. Retreat right now. Respect against respect, and I like this from Orangutan. They know they don't need to overheat against the lesser buys of RRQ here.
Yeah, definitely not. You do not want to give up that op. Especially in this case, as you said, on this anti-eco rather. Capricious doesn't connect the follow-up shot, but it's a warning. One RRQ, are they willing to still take? They go for it now as the smoke does come on up. Allows them to maybe buy a bit more space and potentially go towards that link.
Slowly mobilizing, and through the link perhaps to play in closer quarters. When you're playing Sheriff, it's not too shabby to play for that B site instead. Then again, caught between two halves of the Orangutan sandwich. You got upper held by the Vips especially. Watch out for that one. Fault line now to play. This
30 seconds left.
Push here of RRQ. This is the perfect way to line things up. Spikes down already as Iceberg falls. Next on the list gonna be Alaka Ayumi eventually making it a 1-for-2 trade, but the rest of Orangutan will catch out RRQ and follow suit. 11-10. Orangutan a round away from tying it up.
Orangutan here looking pretty good. Stellar so far. Operator still in the hands of Capricious. The timeout called by RRQ, rightfully so. And with the pace here really being changed up by Orangutan, it's keeping RRQ just guessing on what their next move should be. And typically we talked about, RRQ being good in those mid-round decision-making. We just haven't been able to see that replicated here coming into it, but we've also seen RRQ come back from these timeouts of theirs with much more understanding and knowledge of what to do.
You want to talk about decision-making? The start of round decision-making of Orangutan has been sublime in the past few rounds. The early plays, the pressure being applied, and just goading RRQ to peek at them. Those opportunities are ones they actually make here on the defense. And it's the reason why we're this close, but you mentioned it. Timeouts have been essential to the success of RRQ, and this might be the most important timeout of all this open.
This is crucial for either side. Let's not forget, third map in the series. Loser this goes home. Winner goes on over to the grand final. So much to play for here tomorrow. But RRQ, they have to focus on their task up ahead here today, as Orangutan have cut their lead to what seemed to be a pretty comfy cushion. Now it's in between them in a single round. Lockdown available on either side.
Yeah, RRQ, if they want to get out of this, they're holding out for a bit of the heroics yet again, perhaps. We've seen the plays from Alaka. Ayumi also one to watch out for in these clutch situations. On the other side though, Orangutan still has Capricious around looking so comfy on that jet. Chloe has been incredible all throughout the series. So many ladies here showing their worth truly in terms of their stock, and the star power so abound in the server alone.
Starry Night. Let's see how this painting goes. She can keep these colors towards their way. We've seen RRQ come back and retaliate in these moments. They take quick side control, and the retake's going to come in from Orangutan as they wait for the stall.
Yeah, they saw it coming though, and the Pips wanted to find that opportunity.
should run.
Alakado in the meantime, trying to keep an eye out towards the drop. We get the lockdown into play, cause the divide though to cut off the rest of the map here for Orangutan. But Alaka, again and again, still clutch and still crucial. That's on in now. It's time to get away from that lockdown. Hunter's Fury also lobbed here by RRQ. They're throwing everything they can just to secure this round, basically. Casper, though, finds a Yumi top ground, high ground. The call here for the side of Orangutan, but RRQ is just better in this weather. 12 to 10, it's series point for RRQ.
Incredibly clean there for RRQ. And to retake the A site there with an op is always a difficult proposal. They didn't have that flank that we saw from, well, RRQ a while ago when they were on the defensive side. And they knew that Orangutan's attack had that Hunter's Fury up online. We didn't see that flank coming from Orangutan this time around, and it just allowed them to destroy that lockdown without much of a worry.
Yeah, and RQ, they weren't afraid of all of that costume divide. They knew they already got the intel that the Orangutan was playing towards the CT side. That confidence was effective, especially when we saw them peek from top. But this might be it unless Orangutan can bring in that miracle play yet again. Chloe waiting for the entry here of RRQ. Ayumi with a lob of the paint shells first and foremost. And RRQ, they're assessing what is behind this veil.
Look at the damage done to Chloe though already. And the op is nowhere near any of this. Not within the fight. Completely on the other side of the map. The C-site hit is about to come. They have some stars prepped. Potentially a gravity well. Especially to try and delay, as we like to see Orangutan do quite often, to help that retake come back on in.
Pressure though mounting. And you know that you have your two best clutchers on one site here for Orangutan. Casper and Chloe. Can they get the job done? Nano's one pops at the right time. And Casper finds to take that onto Alaka. Chloe's there too. And here we go again for Orangutan. Stepping up and needing to the most. Chloe gets 2 for her troubles before she gets taken down. It's 3v2 and Zinni. Is she still there around? She's back into the action. There's a time though. Here by Waterfall. Japips! Japips is still alive and finds Snapsky even. Orangutan, despite some of those hiccups around the round. RRQ, they only have one member left here, Black and Blue, and Ayumi peaks. Capricious gets taken down, but Japips is there yet again. And Orangutan, how do they even do that in that situation?
They didn't even need her. A lot of times you rely on that fault line in that case to, stall them out, but my goodness, the anchors here, Chloe and Casper coming in absolutely huge when they needed to. And we go to the final round of regulation. You see how they played around that, how they played around the pressure, using that pillar to isolate the fights and really get multiple 1v1s the way that they needed to in that case.
Brother, I can't stop laughing real quick. Like, that's a statement made by Orangutan. That's a statement call that you have some of your most crucial players on the site that is gonna get hit, and you still win it out anyway, despite what happens around the map. Wow, I'm just impressed.
I was looking at it for a good 5 to 10 seconds before the execute even happened, and thinking like, what's the reason for this? Am I missing something? Is she playing? Like, there's no way she's playing anti-flash that far. There's no way she's trying to avoid the suppress because there's no KO. Even though, what the hell is happening here? But then he doesn't even come to it. Orangutan, when the going gets tough, they seem to be able to fend off whatever demons there may be, whatever may be haunting them. Orangutan just finds some divine, miraculous ways to make it happen.
Yeah, by the grace that is Chloe, basically. She was able to stall, she was able to get the 2k and buy enough time for the rest of Orangutan to play towards Waterfall, but we are not done with regulation, but Ayumi is done now, as Capricious will take her out with the op. Hunter's Fury there, also cover effectively a crossfire made, and does RRQ know that that doorway still has the op in hand? Alaka now breaking the drone. The reassess here from Kaguya, as they are fending off for now.
Cover going
The door open, you have to smoke that off.
here.
Of course, being an Omen, sometimes you'd be a bit more wary of doing that. You don't want to expend both your smokes early out and have to wait for the regen in case, an execute opportunity comes suddenly. And Iceberg gets taken down as well as she was on the drone. The aftershock connects. Orangutan looking to tie up the game and extend this in overtime.
They throw out the Rolling Thunder to try and transit, but it takes a while for that doorway to open, and eventually it might just be their demise instead. 2v5 scenario as Capricious has been catching out the crosses there of RRQ. He left the spike behind, even Capricious having to back on away towards Rumble because of the flashes, but Japips is there yet again. Activity all around the map has been the call of Orangutan, and they will keep going on. The battle cry of Orangutan brings us to overtime.
Overtime.
Orangutan with a never-ending pursuit here of RRQ, playing together as a team. And I only say this because it is appropriate and it is funny. Ape together strong.
Well, if this is gonna be the rise of the planet of the orangutans, I will be all for it. But of course, if you know the tale of Princess Kaguya, you know it's an almost impossible task to face off against RRQ. You can feel the weight, though, of this series. Winner here will move on to face off against the immense powerhouse that is SMG. But neck and neck, all the way till the end. Overtime to see who will be winning here between RRQ Kaguya as well as Orangutan. And straight up, the duelists do meet, but Capricious has the better angle. Ayumi not looking at her back. That's Orangutan with the first kill. That's so important now, and even a second from Capricious.
This is looking disastrous for RRQ. What's very interesting is that they do that push quite often here towards the rubble, but it's Iceberg on the Sova helping her out, not Aluka on the breach, which you typically expect to come in with a fault line and help that case.
Hiccup there for RRQ, and Orangutan able to take advantage of it. Now Best over on the drop. Aluka going to be there on site, and these are going to be important tools here for RRQ to win, but Capricious is just unstoppable. There is no stifling this momentum. Checking out the drop area yet again. Cloudburst right now for cover. You can see for Orangutan, they know this round is their advantage. They're going to hold back for now. Make it a 4v2 instead. Scan comes online though. Navsky, they have to break it. Immediately, it's Orangutan playing on site instead here.
That confirms her presence. Has a paranoia here, Best. That's a good smoke here towards that tree to try and maybe give her a fight to isolate. Paranoia comes on out, connects all the way towards the deep, gets the one kill, needs a second, and she does! That's 3 kills already! TP simply behind her, nothing personal! 1v1, and Chloe takes her down! Napsky goes away, and Orangutan go up off the comeback! They're at match point!
Match point.
From regulation, and as of now, this is their moment. This is the reason why you put Capricious on that jet. This is a reason why you want to keep advancing here, but yet again, it's just a game of balance right now. They realize that they had the advantage. They realize they could throw it all over to Chloe, and a timeout now called by Orangutan. Can they finish the job off in the first OT?
Orangutan, what a way to win this series if you're able to do it here. It's RRQ right now. Pressure surmounting, increasing with every second, and every round Orangutan are able to string in a row. They try and do these things, but the idea is there. Execution just never comes up to it.
Yeah, you can see the execution seems to be the problem. The planning, the tactics here from RRQ Kaguya has been solid all throughout this run. It has been the biggest reason why they have made it this far into the tournament. The biggest reason why they beat Orangutan X last time around the upper bracket semifinals. But this time, the willingness and perseverance of Orangutan, the sheer firepower and the speed of their execution has thrown RRQ Kaguya away from this carriage. Can they actually tie it up on the attacking side, or will Orangutan finish the job off?
And once more, you know, those kind of pushes by RRQ, they need to make sure that if they try and attempt a play, if they try and attempt and execute, that they have the proper tools to do it and position their players accordingly. They're trying to take this rubble away, this time on the attacking side. Utility here by Orangutan placed towards halting the A take.
Orangutan,
There.
they stick Chloe towards that A site one more time. He's been critical in moments like this. Might do so yet again, but RRQ, slower pay. I want to make sure that there's no one actually going to be sticking around those close corners. But look at the Orangutan. They're advancing on the other sides. They're already narrowing down the choices here of RRQ, man.
They're waiting. With that link door closed, the Orangutan have much less to worry about in this case. Maybe if they were able to cross, but yeah, that turret's going to keep them safe. They just have a pretty good grasp of this right now. And now that they made some noise, here comes on into defense to try and help and rotate those nanoswarms, keep them at bay and buy that extra time they need.
Yeah, angle made by Dill's blast back. Actually finds a bit with Chloe's to the backside, but she'll only get one for that one. Casper, though, finding Best, removing smokes from the equation. Sight shot taken here by the side of RRQ, but Orangutan prepared on the other side of it.
There.
3v3. Plant not placed just yet. Trying to be denied here off the aftershock. They have still some utility to try and deny this plant further off the flash, and Capricious, a huge shot she finds. Trade out by Napsky though.
tips the scales now in favor of Orangutan, perhaps. RRQ, watch your back, because Capricci is there, ready to stab you with it. Ayumi goes down, time ticking, and it's all up to Nabsky, who will be caught by Zinni instead. Orangutan have done it. Their journey from the lower bracket brings them now to the grand finals. Third time is the charm. They came in clutch, they came in crucial, and this is their moment.
And there it is, sealed in fate. No matter what happens here, Dax, we are going to have a new champion at the end of this. The former one, Sapphire, and the current RRQ squad removed from this case, and we're moving on over to the grand finals with RRQ versus Team SMG. What a performance and what a comeback from this team. When the going really looked so dire for them, they were able to make it work on out.
Oh, what a freaking game, man. That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
And we talked about it. This is the perfect time in the Game Changer Challenger for a new champion to be crowned. After that bit of a break, after all of those restructures and re-rosters, this is now a chance for SMG or Orangutan to make it work tomorrow. But we'll throw it down to the panel to break down everything that just went on. Congratulations to Orangutan. We'll see you guys though with Raph and Rigor 2.
How the tables have turned, and this time it's Orangutan showing that you can, in fact, rewrite history to come out on top. Third time's the charm. OGT absolute clutching when it counts to finally bag this win over RRQ to make it to tomorrow's grand final. I mean, what an absolutely crazy end to an absolutely crazy series, right, Raph? You want to talk us through the end of that map 3?
That game was so good. Oh my gosh, that game was so good. And I feel like I made a bold statement, and I really don't mind being wrong because there were major factors that I completely overlooked during, again, the thing that I said in the half, right? And man, the factors that I overlooked, and I will say this, Japips will always be that second win that they need, and of course Capricious, an absolute demon, staring the abyss and unblinking, unfazed. And to complete that whole comeback, Zinni the Flash God provides the divination for OGT to break the mold yet again. And I don't know, I feel like this is a game that's reduced me to just being a fan again, and this is why we watch Game Changers. This is why we love this game so damn much.
Yep, this is at 120% why we follow this league, why we try to create these stories for these players that for a lot of us, we've seen them play for the last 2 and 3 years, and I just could not be happier that my girl, Chloe, once again in map 3 of today's series. If my voice sounds like it's shaking, that's because it is. I'm just glad, the camp's not on me right now because I'm actually tearing up. But I am so happy that Chloe bagged this map 3 MVP once again, proving that Sentinels, proving that hard work can help you go that distance. I mean, what a series. Honestly, like for RRQ as well, I'm sure that the girls must be absolutely bummed out for missing out in tomorrow's final. Unfortunately, they will have to wait until June for another shot at the crown for Open 2. But I mean, they've got absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. These girls, they play their hearts out.
They did, but what did OGT put through that heart is a complete dagger, a knife, that one single thrifty to absolutely break the morale. It did look like RRQ was about to lead the dance of death, but they faced the music instead. And my goodness, what an effort on everybody's side. And I just cannot, once again, emphasize, all the players on the server just absolutely went crazy.
I mean, if there's a time to pop off, that time would be right about now. It's just crazy timing to be able to peak where it counts and just have that mental fortitude to pull out play after play, flick after flick from these girls. Just, we were trying to prepare for this last segment, right? And then in our DMs, we were just fangirling about how good the girls are, but MVP very deservedly going over to Chloe TTW. We've just so much about her today, just her growth from the last 2 years to right now, just getting that game sense, getting those rotations, being so smart in her play, but also improving on those mechanics. I mean, she's just so well-rounded as a player.
Oh my goodness, the anger, the fury of Orangutan, who's been so consistent throughout the day, and I don't think my adrenaline has left my body. And wow, again, what a series, just to really drive the point home that OGT is unbreakable. But the story is not over. There is still such a tough fight ahead of them, but this is where they can celebrate. They have just a few more hours or just a day ahead of them to just really let all those feelings out and just prepare.
Yeah, I was looking at the clock, just trying to do some quick math in my brain. You know, the math is mathing. I think they've got about 15 or 16 hours to to go sleep, to kind of like prepare strats for tomorrow, because Orangutan, compared to RRQ, right? Because they started on the opposite sides of the bracket. They started on the same side as RRQ, which means that OGT have actually not played this year's iteration of SMG yet. They did not meet in the Swiss bracket either, so it's going to be a pretty spicy matchup. I'm not even sure how to predict what will go on tomorrow, but whew, I mean, we got word from production that we will have a special treat for all of you viewers who have stuck around to the end for us. We will have a winner interview with one of the members of OGT, and I'm not sure if this counts as a leak, but I'm sure we can give a little bit of a hint. Flash God.
I mean, we have touted her to be one of the biggest reasons why that retake is so potent, and just the ability to blunt any fighting power is just, it's just there, it's present, it cannot be avoided apparently.
Wait, I think she's here. Zinni, say hi if you're here. Oh my god, Zinni, hello. Oh, we can't hear you, I think. I think you might be muted on Discord. Could you just check real quick? Could you unmute your audio on Discord? I think and on VMix also. I think the producer is asking to mute on both. I think then it will feed through. It's alright, we all gotta take a bit of a breather after that map 3. If it's not working, Zinni, I think you might have to refresh VMix. All right, we'll give her a couple of seconds to, you know, figure out tech stuff. Tech stuff is hard, man. I mean, they've had such a long day as well. We were just talking about the games, the maps for them. They had such a difficult journey. During the games, right, I was just like counting how many series, how many maps they've played. This was their 10th best of 3 series in 10 days.
That is a lot of series, and just once again, to completely forget how resilient this team is a mortal sin by me. After all, they did come back from 1-11 all the way back in the Swiss stage, right? And with everything that's been thrown at them, they have remained super composed. And man, if that is not the mark of a champion, or at the very least the warrior, they have been doing so well. But I think the Flash God herself is ready for the interview.
Hello, am I audible?
Hi! Can you hear us now?
Hello?
Oh my god,
Yeah.
it's
Hello?
so nice to have you. Firstly, congratulations for winning today's matches and making it through to tomorrow's grand final. Do you want to just introduce yourself first for all of us?
I'm Zini. I play Flex for Orangutan and also IGL for the team.
Ooh.
That's all. That's all.
I wanted to ask you, first of all, that the team came out of the gates so strong in map 1. There was a very fast pistol round at B on Ascent. I wanted to ask if you think the momentum from beating Big Scythe in the afternoon, was that working to your advantage coming into this series with RRQ?
When we decided to just go rush B, I think it's because we've never called that one, and I think that like we are expecting them to know that we might just do whatever we did last time to them. So that's why we changed it all up, and also we just adjusted everything we can. So like uh, we also would review them and study them, and we adjusted how we play against them. And I think that's what helps us really in taking the win against them.
Spoken like a true IGL. I love that you brought up that you're the IGL for the team. I wanted to ask how the communication usually works on Orangutan. Is it mostly if you give a call, everyone follows, or is it more of a team effort and multiple people make calls? How does it work?
Um, as an IGL, I just only call like in the beginning of the round. Like it can always change according to the situation. So I always also rely to my teammates when like, oh, the situation changed, let's go here or let's just do this instead. Because a lot of times I'm also like separated from them, or like I don't know what's happening on their side. That's why when someone calls, like the first thing that got call, we're gonna follow it no matter what. Like we just go together and live together. That's all.
I wanted to ask you about map number 2 this time around because you won map 1, you dropped map 2. Was the team nervous after losing that map 2? Like, did you guys think, oh, it's been such a long day, we're running out of energy, we needed to win quick? What was it like? What was the atmosphere on the team?
At first it's like we're all so tired, but when we came into the map 3, we just like, guys, it's just compe. Don't think about this as anything. It's our last game of the day. We got nothing to lose. We just give out all we have right now and not overthink and enjoy the game, of course. Like I specifically told them, let's enjoy this game, guys. It's the last game of the day. That's all I think.
All right.
And we just really feel ourselves.
I mean, it definitely showed. Before you go, Zinni, I have one last question I have to ask because you're playing SMG in tomorrow's grand final. It's a team that you have not faced yet in the 2023
Yeah.
Game Changers APAC series. How do you think it's going to go? Can you maybe give us a prediction for tomorrow?
I'm actually so excited because I don't know if you guys know, but I'm ex teammates with Shirazi and Alexi, and I'm also close friends with Kamiyu, and like I still frequently talk to them. I'm really expecting a great finals tomorrow. Like I I hope we win, and I believe in my team that we can win. So I think we're just gonna find out what's gonna happen tomorrow. I think it's gonna be
And
a
that
good
is
game.
Thank you, Zinni, so much for the interview. That is just the best mentality to have. Of course, best of luck in tomorrow's grand final and get some sleep because all of you have earned it. You deserve it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.
I mean, there was just so much that we like to hear from Zinni, right? Just saying how the team has such a good mentality, how like they weren't nervous coming out of like that map 2 loss, and they were just like, you know, encouraging each other, wanting to have a good time. It's just so much that we can learn from Orangutan.
Absolutely a lot. And I love the mentality just weathering through everything. And when you ask them about SMG, it's like, you know what? I believe in my team. We are going to have a great finals regardless of what happens. And you know, like, I am so excited. I am just so excited to see how this is gonna pan out, because it truly has been one of those stories, right? We have the LB magical run with OGT and SMG's complete utter destruction of the upper bracket. So I don't know, man. I'm just really excited at this point.
I am so super hyped for tomorrow's games, and I mean, I'm sure, you know, tomorrow's panel, tomorrow's casters, they got their work cut out from them and trying to predict, trying to break this series down. But of course, guys, if you're joining us online and you're wondering, you know, I want to get in on some of that watch party live event action,
Ooh.
guys. Well, if you're in Singapore, maybe Malaysia, you know, or just, well, you've got 15 hours. You can pretty much fly anywhere from Southeast Asia at this point, drive from Malaysia. But we're going to have a watch party here in Singapore for the VCT Game Changers APAC Series Grand Final tomorrow. We'll be at the Aftershock HQ. I think the doors open at 1 p.m. Registration completely free. There's going to be food, there's going to be drinks, there's going to be giveaways. There's a secret lab chair with a physical riot gun buddy up for grabs too for people who come down at the watch party. So definitely, you know, if you're in town, if you're nearby, do check that out. But guys, thank you so much for joining us for day number 4 of the VCT Game Changers APAC Series 1. It's been a ball of a time from Raph and I here on the deck. And Black and Blue, we thank you for staying with us through all of today's games. Who will be our first Game Changers APAC Open champion? Which team will reign supreme? We'll find out tomorrow, 2 p.m. right here.
One enemy remaining. I got the spike. That's it. One enemy remaining. Spike down B. Spike down B.
sound.